kidding me, everybody? Welcome to Tuesday Night Bully Talk. We've got a wonderful guest tonight. We've been looking forward to hosting for a hot minute now. Um, some of you may be familiar with him. I know y'all have seen his dogs, maybe even without even realizing it. But there's a lot going on with this gentleman that is not necessarily behind the curtain, but it needs to be highlighted for sure. So what we like to do, sir, is we like to allow you to introduce yourself to the community, give us your kennel name and any other company name that you have, and then tell us how you got into bullies in the first place. Take it away.
Well, my name's Brandon Hatch. I have KK's Bully Camp. We also have a foundation. It's called Kaylee's Kids. We came about, maybe 3 years ago, just around 3 years ago, close to 4. We got our first bulls. That was my wife's idea. We had lost a dog, and we waited like 6 months before we decided to pull the trigger on getting another dog.
Mm-hmm.
And she calls me on the phone and she goes, "I found a bully." Whoa. Oh yeah, it was her dream dog was a bully. Okay, so yeah, so she's here. This is my wife Amber. Say hi, everybody.
Hey.
This is my wife, the backbone of the operation.
So my dream dog was always a bully. This guy never wanted a bully. Never. I found one on Facebook, talked him into it, fell in love with it. It was supposed to be my dog. He took the dog. The dog fell in love with him. And then here we are now, 11 dogs later.
Yeah, well,
Dang, that escalated.
This man now loves bullies.
Yeah, I've got maybe just a little infatuation with
Just
bullies.
Well,
Just
it just
a
means that your
smidge.
wife has impeccable taste then. Like she already
It's an easy thing now.
it's your destiny.
It's an easy thing to get infatuated with. They're
It very much
I've been
is.
around. I've been around all kind of dogs all my life, and I love a lot of them. But bullies are just different.
They are different.
They are.
Miss Bonnie says she's just like it's called dog math. Yes, Bonnie. Yes.
Oh, Bonnie, she's got our litter over there at her house right now that we just had.
Oh man, the puppy spam has been beautiful.
Yeah, the puppy spam has been beautiful. Yeah, she's our saving grace. She helps us out a lot. She's part of our team. You know, when I say a team, it's not a word we use lightly because we all lean on each other. Okay,
Yeah.
there's me, Amber, Bonnie. There's Edwin, George Bailey.
Yeah.
You might know Edwin as Via, you know, the owner of
Yeah.
Zion,
Mm-hmm.
dual grand champion.
for
Yeah,
sure.
Zion. So, yeah, we're all very close. We work very closely together, and we help each other out through along the steps. There's Brandy over there at BTK. She helps us out too. You know, we all work together. You know, and I think that's one of the most important things when you're doing these things here.
Oh, for sure. Litter you were talking about. Is it this one?
Yeah, yes, that one. Yep.
Yeah.
That's Nebula. She's my Velociraptor. Okay, so you may have
Amen.
remember when we were at Nationals and you hear this weird sound coming from our booth at Bonnie's. That was her.
Oh
That
my
was
god.
her.
Oh my gosh.
She sounds like a Velociraptor. Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. Well, and so
I've got one of those here that I'm pretty sure in the dark, if you took 10 guesses of what was making the sound, you would never guess it's a dog.
Or bully. You ever think it's an American bully? Yeah.
Never.
Oh,
Never.
my
Everybody
gosh.
thought it was a Frenchie making all that noise. It wasn't. It was Nebula.
They do,
Nationals.
yeah. So
Well, she's
Nebula's oh yeah. Well, I mean, she definitely comes by it honestly. She's a Zero Barks Gibbon daughter.
Yes. Yeah.
So, I mean,
She's a very beautiful girl. Very beautiful
yeah.
girl. She's we love her to death. You know, she's a good girl, and we took her to Riot,
which is an exceptional choice. We've been able to have on to talk about that lucky line and rights right up there with the greats. And it's man, you picked a hell of a pairing, dude. That's gonna produce some hitters.
Well, there's things that go into it, like me and Caleb, we've talked, we talked in Pensacola, and Via and I talk all the time, and I mean, we're looking on doing the right things and the right pairings for the right reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, when I got in, we got into this as novice. Okay, and in my true honest opinion, I am still a novice. I'll probably be a novice for another 10 years because I'm still learning. Okay, because you guys' lives, I have to say this before we go any further. Your guys' lives help us tremendously. Whether it's your life, whether it's Raul's life, all of these things help us young breeders out, because there's
Thank
stuff
you.
that I don't know. There's stuff that I don't know, and I have to look and ask questions. I have to ask questions to learn, and then I have to experience things too. Now I'm not just a guy that has dogs. Okay, you know I've been around animals my entire life. Okay, like when I say that, I don't say it lightly. We raised horses,
Mm-hmm.
cows, chickens. We had a
Right,
chicken farm
right.
once that had 24,000 chickens at one time.
Oh my
Okay.
God.
Yeah,
Well,
so
I'll
like
tell
like
you what. I'll be the first of us three to say that I'm honored, and I'm honored to hear you say that. I'm also honored to be a part of what we do. I love it, we're students too. We just try to
Mm.
share our truth and kind of pay it forward, keep it going. It's easy. It's easy when you think like, hey, I like dogs. I want to have some dogs. I hope they have some puppies, and here we go. And then
Mm-hmm.
you realize like,
yeah, it
all
don't
right, I
work
want,
that
and
way.
then right about there, you come to the place where it's like, you know what? I want to do this right. And
Yes.
Yeah, you
then
got
you realize there's so much more to it than you thought. And you
For
start
sure.
getting off into this stuff and realizing like, oh my gosh, this is like, you got about
No
be a
idea.
geneticist and all this other stuff to even breed.
Oh,
well.
for
You
Um,
sure.
got. I know. Caleb has XLs. Mike, you got XLs too, right?
yes, sir.
So you guys. So I have to ask this because I'm not too keen on the XLs. Are you doing the? Are you not letting them hook up in the yard unless they're your dogs, right? Or are you doing everything AI or surgical too with the bigger dogs? I know the bigger dogs don't have problems like the smaller dogs do. The pockets, like we'd have to
Yeah.
do
Yeah.
AIs and
I would I
surgicals and
would
so on and
agree.
so forth.
I would agree that with the XLs is a little safer as far as a natural tie within your own program, for sure. But we do whatever needs be, especially for shipping or stuff. Caleb and I both do all the above according to the situation.
Mhm.
But I'll say this, man. Um, XLs are where I feel like need the most help,
Yes.
and so
Well,
that's
I've
where
heard you
I've
guys talk
that's
about that,
that's where I've
and
kind of Caleb and I both and Amanda have dedicated our time trying to really dig into that and improve the breed.
Mhm.
And I think we're well on our way. So I'm excited about that, man.
Yeah.
For
You
the
know,
sure.
Hey, hey, I want to touch on that too, real quick, before we go any further. Hey, what you asked, if there's a breeding that's taking place off our yard, I can only talk for our program. Like,
correct
yeah, I'm not letting my males, tie naturally to
tie.
them.
No,
And it's not even more of a like they have, ability to. I think
Yeah.
XLs is actually quite a bit easier.
Mhm.
Um, just depending on the condition and things like that. But
I
no, there's an STD that can actually sterilize your male. It's
Mhm.
called like brucellosis, and you can actually get a clear, definite answer from the vet. Now, if someone brings the test, which I haven't seen many people ever do, then yeah, at that point we can do a natural tie. But
yeah,
other
I
than
would only
that,
do a natural tie with my dogs on my yard.
exactly.
After
well, I
having
I
it.
only asked that question because like people ask me questions. Well, do you let your dogs natural tie? I said absolutely not. Not my dogs. I said maybe in
Yeah.
and the larger breed dogs, they may do it within their yard, but
Yeah.
here, like, no, absolutely not. Everything
Well, the STD that he's talking
everything's,
about is
yeah, I might have the male here and the female here, but we're going to pull it and we're going to put it in via AI, or it's going in surgical. So that's
my
Yeah.
vet. My vet actually requires it to be done within a certain amount of hours of the breeding. Like
Oh, the
he
AI or
requires to
surgical?
see it. No, the STD test.
Mhm.
Oh
I
yeah.
never feel comfortable with that word, and normally that's kind of my thing. But it's like brucellosis or Amanda
Yeah.
can look it up.
Brucellosis. Yeah.
Something like that.
brucellosis.
Yeah, and yeah, he requires it to be done within a certain time frame of the breeding. We can't have
Absolutely.
it from 2 weeks ago and think he's not gonna do that. And you got to have it
Yeah.
pretty recent to the shipping.
For sure.
And forget what it is. It's not 24 hours, but it's close. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, it's got to be within a few days, because if not, yeah, if another dog gets
Yeah.
hooked to her, and yeah, and that right there, sterilize your stud. Oh my
Yeah.
Oh
God.
man, it'll hurt you on both sides for sure.
Yeah, there's no way around it. And the thing is like when it comes to breeding, and you touched on this a little bit earlier, Brandon, there, when you get into breeding, you do it for the right reasons, and you do it because you love the dogs. And it's this litter that you have right now on the ground with Nebula and Riot, like you can tell just from how you talk about it to pictures like this, where like this is
Yeah, I may or may not love my dogs.
you may or may not love your
just
dog.
just a little.
I can
Yeah.
relate to that.
Yeah. This photo, like, I mean, the few times that I've seen it, because it pops up frequently enough, but yeah, this picture, it just kind of embodies the right breeder, like someone who's doing this not just for love of the breed, but for love of their own dogs, and being willing to lay in the wing box, and being willing to do everything necessary to ensure the health and longevity of the dogs and the breed itself. So this picture just spoke volumes. So it's literally probably out of all the pictures you have, it's this one.
That picture there was while we were at the vet waiting on the C-section. Okay, I had already caught puppies all most of the night. Yeah, so like nothing prepares you for that. It starts happening, and it's just go time. On the rubber gloves go, and here we go. That's
Sometimes it can be so messy, man. It's every time it shocks me just how much fluid and how much blood and how much stuff. It's a lot, especially if you've never done it, man. It can be so overwhelming, but
for sure. Yeah,
that's not. I haven't done it with dogs. I've done it with German shepherds, because we had German shepherds when we were younger. My wife, her parents, and they did labs. So, but those are all natural birthing dogs. So sometimes you had, typically, yes. So sometimes you would have an issue, every now and again.
Far and few between him.
Far and few between, yes.
Yeah, for sure.
I know there's one thing. After having those puppies, and I could not get the smell of puppies out of my nose for like 2 days. Okay, like it was just stuck there. I mean, we're eating dinner and I still smell puppies. Like the smell of the
that
puppies.
Gets the appetite ready. That gets the appetite ready.
Yes, I mean, it's like stuck in the nose. Like the only thing I can really compare it to is like when we had the chicken farm and the smell of the chicken shit. Okay, that's the only thing. It's just that's what it stays there, and once it's there, it takes a while to go away.
It does.
Yeah.
It definitely does. Well, so this particular litter, obviously, you've mentioned that it didn't exactly go according to plan, and I know that you kind of had described it on the post that this picture came from. But go ahead and because there's people probably tuning in tonight, or will be tuning in, when they have a chance, that either they've never had a litter before, so there's always kind of this mystery about like how it goes, and same as most, they think it's going to go in a specific order and that everything should be fine. But obviously this one just kind of went not sideways in a possibly in a scary way, but like I'd love for you to kind of go through how that birthing process like started all the way through fruition.
Okay, so we have been on puppy watch since Friday. She was on day 58 was Saturday. Okay, day 59 was Sunday. All right, so we were watching because she was extremely big. Okay, she ended up having 12 puppies in there.
Wow.
All right, so she was not little. Right, she was beyond miserable, and so we've been keeping her. I don't care what other people say. Our dogs sleep in bed with us. They all get a chance to sleep in bed in my bed. Okay, these are my dogs. Okay,
Yeah.
I love my dogs. All of my dogs get a chance to sleep in bed. Well, Nebby's been on in the bedroom status for the last week prior to her having puppies, just because I need to watch her. You know, and she's so big and gravid. I just need to keep an eye on her. So every time she'd move in the bed, I'm awake. All right.
Yep.
So Saturday night, she was up and out of the bed all night long. Like every hour on the hour, we're going outside and we're going potty. And I'm out there with the flashlight, watching her, checking her hoo-ha with a paper towel, just feeling her belly, making sure. Now, they say don't squeeze the boobies, but I'm squeezing boobies because I'm checking to make sure she doesn't have mastitis. Okay, like, just and for those that don't know what that is, it can make the puppies really sick.
Very much so.
It can kill the puppies. You guys can elaborate on that a little bit more than I can, but it's not good. All right, so these are things that I picked up that I've learned along the way, especially from Bonnie and Brandy and all those that have whelped puppies in this capacity before. Okay, so now we're getting into Sunday. I'm watching her.
You say
We're
capacity like 12 puppies is a lot or something.
She was at maximum capacity. Okay, she was.
Hey, when they got more pups than they do to feed them, then that's a big deal, ain't it?
Yeah.
Very much so.
Yeah. Compared to our last litter, we had 7 puppies from Cheyenne and Zion, and they were big. They were big puppies. I mean, they were.
Yeah, they're potatoes, giant spuds.
Giant spuds. Yeah. Well, speaking of spuds, I know a lady that's got some spuds on the ground right now from a tater tot. Yeah. They got tater tot spuds, the tot. Yeah. Well, back to Sunday. So Sunday, we're watching her all day. And she's not panting. I've been checking her temperature. I checked it in the morning. She was hovering right around 99. Then it went to 98. And it was like, and she went as low as 97. And then she went back to 98 points, I think 7. So I'm like, all right, I know we're getting close. And I'm thinking to myself and Amber, I'm like, we just need her to make it till in the morning. She just needs to make it till in the morning because she was already going in for a C-section. All right,
right. You already kind of had it.
But once again, she had her plan. We had our plans, and she had hers. Like I explained, like about 11 o'clock, I took her outside to go potty because she was adamant about going outside to go potty. She went down the stairs, made a right, and squatted right there, and here comes a puppy. And I went, oh. I come back in. I said, we're having puppies. And I ran back outside. I picked her up, carried her in. I got the puppy in this hand and the rest of Nebula over here. And I carry her and we get in the whelping box.
Oh, my God.
And whoops, whoops, here go the gloves. All right.
The sound effects are great.
Amber gets the towels. We get the kids because we got the kids involved because they need to be involved in this stuff. Like this, when I say we're a family unit and everything we do in this household with these dogs, everybody has an assignment, and when it was very important that the kids get involved because it was something they need to experience. I experienced it when I was a kid, from horses, cows, chickens, to pigs, you name it, puppies, kittens, we did the whole shebang out here, so for us, it was very important that I go in there, wake the kids up, because they already weren't going to school because they were going to be with us at the vet in the morning.
Nice. I like it.
So it was already planned. Yep.
Yeah. So they're going to be with us at the vet in the morning. And here comes the first puppy. All right, I get it out of the sack, and Nebby starts chewing on the sack and the things. I get the puppy out. I got a towel. I'm rubbing the back, sucking out the nose, sucking out the mouth. Trying to get as much of that embryonic fluid out as we possibly can. And then I hand the puppy off because now the puppy's making noise. All right, so the puppy's making noise. Amber has the puppy, and she's continuing to dry off the puppy and make sure the nose is sucked out. And we did that. Then about 45 minutes later, here comes the little cow, the one that looks like the cow we call. Paisley calls it. Our daughter Paisley calls it the moo. So that's the moo. All right, yeah, so that's the moo cow. She comes out. I do the same thing. Nebby tries to clean her up. We did let her clean the puppies, okay? Not that we did everything ourselves, but we did let her do that, And the third one came out, and then it was a while. We were like 3 hours, going into 3 hours before I had the next puppy. At this point, I'm like, Bonnie's on the phone from the time we started having puppies, okay, till I forget when she finally hung up with us. I think it was like 2 hours later. Before the third hour, absolutely. She was tired. She went to bed. We were keeping her things updated as much as possible. But it was crazy. Like
what about those gaps when they take breaks? What a time that is.
Bro,
it's like,
if you ever listen, my wife almost had our daughter Paisley in the front yard, okay? Like, I'm over at hanging Christmas lights up outside, and I'm timing contractions, okay, with my wife. So I'm doing the same thing with the damn dog in the whelping box. I'm like, all right. Amber's looking at time. We got a notepad, okay? We're writing down puppy times as they come out. We've been just logging as much as we can in case we have to go to an emergency vet. All right, so we have everything as best we can in order. Now, I'll tell you, I called a couple, and one of them was $6,700 to have an emergency C-section.
I believe it. Absolutely.
Okay, like I was like, you're out of your mind, but it is what it is. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. You gotta do what you gotta do. There's that. So it's good. Like Raul always tells you, and he goes, you got to have more than one vet. Okay, you have to have more than one vet. Okay, that whether it's your regular vet or it's your reproductive vet, you got to have more than one. We do have more than one vet that we can go to, but not at 3 o'clock in the morning. Okay. The ones that I did go to at 3 o'clock in the morning, there's no surgeon there to do a C-section. Okay. Wow. And the other one was far, far away. Well, it was like hour 3.5. We finally get a puppy, and it's coming out breached. It's one of the bigger males. He's coming out breached backwards. But he's moving, okay? He's moving. So I'm like, oh, okay, good. We're moving, all right? He's breathing. All right, we get him out, boom, boom. And then shortly after that, about 30 minutes after that, we had a first stillborn. And that one was dead for a while. And I say this because the tongue was brown, the face was blue, okay? And there's nothing I could do to revive that puppy. I'm pretty sure it was in there for a while and it passed away. It's a lot. It's work. So if you guys have, and I'm not saying you three, because I'm just preaching to the choir when I'm talking about that, but for somebody that's coming into this and think that it's all roses and fairy tale stories.
Yeah.
You know, you don't get to see what goes on behind the scenes and the hard work that goes on. When I say hard work, I mean it's hard work.
Mhm.
My wife is the backbone of this operation. Okay. She is here with the dogs. She feeds the dogs. She runs the dogs to the vet. She knows when there's something off with the dogs. Like she's the first one. All right. This is more her operation than it is mine. If it's, if you really want
Yeah,
to know, you know,
absolutely.
but
Same here.
she, she takes care of everything here, you know,
I
and
could
I'm
not
thankful
do it
for that.
without my wife. That's
Yeah.
no joke. She,
She,
you know, we can't be two places at once. We can't run the rest of our lives and run the dogs here at the same time. So we have to juggle between us a little bit.
Mhm.
And, you know, I spend the first 3 weeks in the kennel, in the floor. Like I don't leave that room. I have to be fed in there and brought everything. Like I don't leave the puppy side 24/7 for about 2.5, 3 weeks. And then when I start working my way back to work, we kind of got a good little routine until about week 7.
Mhm.
About week 7, that's when they're little crapping little monsters, man.
the
And they
personalities are
will,
out in
Yeah.
full
like, you
swing.
walk in the room and they're all like, huh? And you're like,
What are you
oh
doing?
my God, you little shits. I mean, they'll have so much crap and everything tore up, and they'll be finger painting, and then you'll clean it up and it'll be spotless. And then you'll go in there and you're like, golly, what are they doing? We ain't looked in there in an hour, you know. It's been 90 minutes since the last time we deep cleaned the whole room, and go in there and it's ransacked.
It's
You
bad.
know, it's like,
Yeah, you walk in there, it's
ugh.
like, okay, a bomb went off. A bomb went
Yeah.
off,
You can
and
only
So
do that like 3 or 4 times a day for a week before you're like, all right, we got to figure something out. This is
yeah,
something, you know. Oh man, that's
we
where it
don't
gets
have a
fun.
big facility. Like we're like I said, we're still new to this, and we have a lot of learning left to do. Okay, and we're an in-house, literally operation right now.
hmm
Caleb, one day we'll have dog kennels like you. That's in a whelping room. My wife is so jealous of your guys' whelping room.
great
But
Oh
setup.
man.
it's goals. It's goals. You know, we'll get there eventually, but we have to start at the bottom. Okay, and I say
Increments.
this, yes, increments. And I tell this to people all the time. You know, there is no elevator. You have to take the steps.
Gotta walk
And
it.
if
100%.
you're not willing to take the steps, one, you're not going to learn. Okay, the crucial things that you need in order to be successful, and you're not going to have failures because if you can't sit here and tell me I win all the time. No, you don't. Okay,
Yeah.
Oh
you're
yeah,
going to take
it's,
losses.
yes,
You're gonna.
100%. And how you
I've taken
rebound
way
from
more losses
that.
than I've ever taken wins. Okay,
Hey, on top
Absolutely.
but
of that, I learn way more from my losses than my wins. You
exactly,
know,
I agree.
one
Yes,
hundred percent. You know,
Yeah.
definitely.
and I agree wholeheartedly with that.
them
I've
losses
taken way.
hurt, especially when it's puppies. You know, and you got
Hmm.
things don't go your way and things happen, and sometimes you can't do anything about it. You know, and it's tough, man. And then you have those moments where one's not breathing and you revive it. You know what a feeling that is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
For
yeah.
sure.
And you're like, oh, it's
Yeah.
gone, it's gone, it's gone, it's gone. All right, it's back, it's breathing.
It's back.
You know,
It's
like,
back. It's
oh
back.
God,
Yes.
that's something,
Oh yeah.
man. You know,
Oh,
Yeah.
there's gotta, yeah, there's not a lot that can compare to that level of
man,
adrenaline and dopamine
golly.
in
Yeah.
that moment. So now you've got, you know, how many pups at this point? And you know,
There's
unfortunately,
9.
yeah, one didn't make it.
Well, okay, okay. So at this point, we're on our way. We got it's 6:45 in the morning. I've got my wife, the 2 kids, the dog, and rubber gloves in the truck, and we are heading to the vet. Now it's been almost another hour since we've had a puppy.
Right.
Okay,
Take another break.
so we're about 3/4 of the way to the vet, and she's having contractions and she's pushing. All right. Now this is where I believe we're on the other side. Now she's already had one side with the horn, and now we're on the other horn on the other side. Well, when she birthed that first puppy in the truck, she screamed.
Oh,
Okay,
Mm.
she screamed out in pain, and the puppy's hanging out of the back. I've got my gloves on, and when they go to just tug ever so lightly on the umbilical, she's yelping again. So what we determined that when we get to the vet after all of that, after all the puppies, is that the placenta was still attached to the uterus. It hadn't come off yet.
Oof, okay.
So when she's having that puppy inside in the truck, I take my fingers and I'm pretty much in her hoo-ha. All right, I have no choice. I'm trying to break the umbilical, okay, with my finger, with my thumb and my finger.
Yeah.
I get it off. I get the puppy to come out, and now she's not in pain. Okay, she's not yelping. She's trying to help me clean the puppy. Getting the puppy out of the sack. She's trying to help me get the puppy out of the sack and clean the puppy and get all that ready, good to go, right? So I get the puppy breathing, and she's licking and she's trying to eat the sack and all of that, doing her mama job. I hand the puppy to my son up in the front seat. When Amber's driving, Maverick's got the puppy.
Family business. Oh my God.
I love it.
Maverick's got the puppy in a towel, because Dad's in the back trying to make sure we're not having another puppy. All right. We get to the vet. Maverick's got the puppy. Amber backs in. I get her out. So first thing we do, even if we're not having puppies, I try to get her to go potty before we go inside. So we walk over to the grass. I still have gloves on. She goes to pee, and out comes another puppy, and she hollers. Oh, here we go again. So now I got leaves on puppy in a sack, and I got to pinch the thing off again and rush, get her inside the vet's office, break the sack open, do the whole thing over again, sucking the nose out, getting the puppy to breathe. That's good. And then it was another hour before she had another puppy, 45 minutes maybe, because we were waiting on the surgeon. The surgeon hadn't got there yet. All right. So
at this point, it's almost like, hey, I mean, you're almost there,
Yeah, but we didn't know that how many she had at that time.
Yeah.
Okay, we didn't. It was surprise. So we got 12 puppies when it was all said and done. All right. Finally, the surgeon got there. Our vet is phenomenal. Okay, they do a great job. Okay, Jen, our vet tech, and Michelle over there, and the doc, all them guys over there at Silverthorne are really good at what they do. They took her back and cleaned her out. We ended up with one more live puppy. We had 9 that were alive and 2 that were stillborn and 1 that was not fully formed yet. But that's when when she came out, the doc came out, and that's when she's like, the placenta hadn't come off of the wall yet, the uterus. So that's why she was in pain. And she goes, it took me a while to push everything out. Okay. And and she brought her out. She was all woozy, like. And then we went from there to Bonnie's house with the puppies, and we were there for a little while, and Bonnie took over for us.
Yeah. Hey, Brandon. So we've hit on so many things in this 37 minutes, and I love it. And there's many things that we kind of briefed over, but this is so important for people. And you talk about how this is a platform for knowledge and things like that. I want to go a little more in depth on things we talked about with the getting ready to whelp and the whelping process. So you said you checked her temperature. How did you check her temperature, and why is it important checking your temperature as the pregnancy goes on?
From what I have learned, the temperature drops below 100, we're getting close. Okay, and if it stays below that 100 mark, we're getting really close.
All right. Get to about 97, you're having puppies.
Yeah, that's pretty much what happened. That's pretty much what happened. She wasn't panting really. Like, she was panting a little bit, but it wasn't nothing out of the norm for her because she sits up in bed all the time and she pants until she's ready to lay down and go to sleep.
Did she start nesting?
Not till the puppies were coming out.
Yeah, right about the time when they get
Talk
real
about
close, they'll start.
procrastination.
Some do it sooner than others, but I
Yeah.
noticed that they'll get to scratching
She went and
around.
tore that whelping box up, boy. I tell you
Yeah.
what, she.
So
Yeah.
we learned from the first time to the second to definitely like we've got the layer of protection and the whole deal laid out, and then we put a bunch of other crap in there, towels and blankets and all this stuff just
That's
for her
enough.
to toss
Just,
around.
yeah, just so she can get
Otherwise,
at
she'll
it.
rip the mat, the pads and all the stuff up. But if we put like we'll put like 5 or 10 towels in there, just all over the place, so she's
She
got
can throw
something
'em.
to toss around in there, ransack.
Yeah.
That seems to help a little bit.
Uh,
Yeah.
Oh,
So we
shoot.
did.
And
We
that's
checked their temperature. We had two different.
oh,
Sorry, Caleb. I know. I was
go,
just trying to finish
no,
here.
no, no. Go.
But
No, no,
yeah.
no. Go ahead. No, I want to hear
Um,
this.
so we had two different thermometers. Okay. So we checked it, of course, on the
There we
bottom,
go.
the anus,
Yes,
because
rectally.
that's
Yep.
rectally checking the temperature. She does not like that. Okay. It's a two-man job with Nebby.
Oh
Okay.
God, yeah, no dog likes that.
Cheyenne, I can do it with Cheyenne. She doesn't care. Like she's like, okay, this isn't my first. Just stick it in there, right? And then when she take it out, she looks at you funny and goes back and does whatever she's gonna do. Nebby, she's like, oh, what are you doing with that? What are you doing with
Yeah.
Yeah,
that?
where's that
Yeah.
going?
Why is
It's
that
not going
going
where I
in
think
there?
it should.
Yes.
So, but
Oh my God.
like I said, she had her timeline, and we had our timeline, and she had hers, and here we are.
Yeah. And that's why I wanted to hit on it because man, it doesn't matter how prepared you are. Like the dog is going to have its own timeline and
Yep.
mother nature is going to take its place and we can do what we can do to possibly help them. And I love this story because you literally had to react. You had a c-section scheduled the very next day and she went into labor at 11, 12 o'clock. You were at the vet's office at 6 a.m. doing everything, doing things that you would never have to do. But I like what you said too about the mastitis. And a lot of people don't, especially that haven't had litters, that haven't whelped, things like that, don't really understand what mastitis is. And it's deadly to, the puppies. It's an infection in the breast. It's just an overconsumption of milk in one breast.
I
But I
have
like
to.
how you checked for that.
My wife goes, "Why you got to play with the boobies all the time?" I go, "I just got to make sure it's not green.
Yes.
Yes, no,
Make sure
100%.
the color's consistent." And that's Bonnie, Bonnie and Brandy and everybody, just got to make sure.
Yep.
Because I'm telling you, her mammary glands in the back. Okay, one of them on one side. I'm not kidding. Okay, the very last one was like this big around. Okay,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
hanging.
that's scary.
All right, and the other one wasn't that far off from being that same size, but like. I was taught that you gotta check for temperature back there because if they feel extremely hot and you got a
Hmm.
different coloration coming out, then you've got an issue. So
I
we're
I try
keeping an eye on that.
I try to watch as well if them back ones are pretty full all the time, right? But
Hmm.
if there's ever a teat that they're not using very much, if one that like they can't get what they want out of it, so they want to you'll find that usually they have some that they favor on the dog and some that they don't on the
Hmm.
mama, right? If the ones that they kind of don't like, you got to get some milk out of those too, or they'll wind up, that they're
Yep.
running a risk of infection there for, overproduction. They're producing so much and not relieving it on those particular spots,
Yeah.
those
We
particular
were
teats.
worried that
So
we would have to start relieving her before the puppies were coming out,
Yeah.
and I didn't really want to have to do that because you could lose the what you call it,
do y'all
the
have any particular supplements that you like to give to her before and after? For anything in particularly?
well, they all get this stuff right here.
There we
I'm
go.
so
There
glad
we
to see that.
go.
Okay, they
Yeah,
all
yeah.
get this
Let's
stuff
go.
right here.
Yeah.
Okay, and the DS. I'm out of
That's
DS
what I'm
right
talking
now, but
about.
we got plenty of this right here.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
wish we had Raul's code. We had put it up like, how he points up to it. Like that would be
Yeah,
perfect
yeah.
situation for it. Shout
Yeah,
out Raul
Yeah.
yeah,
Fagundes from QBN.
Yeah.
yeah. We got
Uh,
we
It's
we got
it's
plenty of this green
it's
one
really
right now. I need the
it's really
DS.
good.
Yes, yeah.
It is really
But,
good. I use a couple others too that some old school breeders put me up on. One that I really
Fenugreek.
like.
I know she's on Fenugreek too. Bonnie's got her
Yeah,
on Fenugreek.
Hmm.
that's good. I like the Oxy Mama.
Oxymom's good.
Oxy Mama's really good, and we use this. There's different brands, and it really doesn't even matter which one. And come to find out, the ones that are for cats and dogs alone are just as good. But it's just a calorie gel. It's like a paste, and it looks like maple almost, but it's pretty thick stuff, and it's almost like a resin. And I usually take one of the Oxy Mama wafers and then put a dab of that calorie gel on top of it and give it to her. And that's been a pretty good combination for us.
Now we feed chicken and rice to multiple dogs. When I say chicken and rice, we boil the chicken down. All right,
Mhm.
we make the rice with the chicken broth that was boiled down, all right, to give it just a little bit more flavor, and then my wife grinds the bones down. So every piece of nutrients we can get and gather out of that, we feeding the dogs. Nebby was on that the whole time she was on her, because she stopped eating raw. We feed raw too. It's uh, me and Caleb feed the same raw, the same stuff, the exact same stuff. And Nebby was turning her nose up at it. She didn't want it closer she got
Wow.
to having babies, but she would eat the
Yeah.
chicken and rice and oatmeal cream pies. She likes her oatmeal cream pies.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well,
Vanilla
treat.
ice cream
She'll
and
she'll
Tums.
she'll
Yes.
do some
Yeah.
shady stuff for an oatmeal cream pie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tums
Well,
are
then
actually some of the best forms of calcium to give them right after birth or even in between puppies.
yeah,
Chunk.
you
I
can
usually
actually
get
like
the. Go ahead, Amanda.
freezing Greek yogurt is like into like you had the ice cube trays. Freezing some Greek yogurt is also really
Right.
good way to because it takes them a second
Bonnie
to
likes that
actually
Greek
manage
yogurt.
it, and yeah.
Now
Mhm.
Nebby will eat the Greek yogurt here, but she doesn't eat it like she does when she's at Bonnie's house. Okay, don't
It must
ask
be
me
like
why. Don't ask me why. Okay, that was her
Because she's
dog
waiting for the
before it was
oatmeal
my
cream
dog.
pie at
Yeah,
your house, and she.
yeah.
that is true.
Yeah. She's a different dog when she's here. She
Mhm.
goes over to Auntie Bonnie's house. Like right now, she's queen bee over there, laying on her back with
Yeah.
puppies. Because she's boss lady. Um,
Uh,
yeah, it was a quite humbling experience, and
Can only
I'm
imagine.
glad I'm glad that the kids got to join in on that experience too, because I think it's important. You
Very
know,
much.
Maverick Maverick's in the junior handling, and Paisley's not. So Paisley's into whelping of the puppies. What Paisley does is totally different than Maverick. Maverick's more of the show ring kind of
Yeah.
guy, and Paisley's more of the I'm going to stay at home and with mom and work with the puppies and
Hmm.
do
Hmm.
things with the dogs. And I truly believe that's going to make her a better handler when she's ready to go into the ring.
yeah.
Okay, then
Yeah.
that's my
I love
opinion.
that. I love that name. That's my niece's name as well. That's my brother's daughter is Paisley.
Paisley, yeah,
Yeah, I really like it.
Paisley Elise.
Yeah. I really
Hers is Paisley May.
Paisley May.
Yeah, yeah,
that. I love it.
yeah.
Yeah, this I mean, so and the thing is like you learn from these wild experiences, and from this birthing process with Nebula. What is your take, like what takeaways do you have? Like this definitely did not go according to plan, so you know.
No, it didn't go according to plan. And I'm going to say this. Some people may not agree with it. Okay, especially people that are in it for just for money. Okay, if the dog's breedable, we're going to breed the dog again.
Mhm.
I'm probably not going to breed Nebula again.
Ah, tell us
I
why.
it was uh, it was hard on her. It was hard on her. And when the doctor came out and said it took its toll on her and her uterus, I'm always going to do what's in the best interest of my dog first and foremost. Okay. So
There you go.
I couldn't put her through that again.
I'm really glad you said that because Caleb and I have had to talk about this in the past, and we've talked about it on the show in different places here and there. But it's a case by case thing. It's why it's so good to have a good vet that you trust, because it's not inappropriate to breed a dog 4, maybe even 5 times under the right circumstances if the uterus is okay, if everything is okay. But a lot of times, man, maybe it's only once or twice. It just depends on the condition of the female and how well her body takes to the whole process. When Remy had puppies here, if you had never done it before, it was a crime scene. There was blood everywhere. It was such a bloody nightmare. I mean, it was really bloody. With Freya, she didn't get blood anywhere. She barely bled at all. But then after, Remy bled for a month, just a little bit, after having
Yeah.
puppies. And now Freya here, the puppies are 10 weeks old this last Sunday, and Freya's still bleeding.
And Cheyenne didn't bleed nowhere
not
near
very much, but she's still bleeding.
very long.
And they say it's normal. I'm like, it doesn't seem normal, but they say it's normal. So,
but it's also relative. That's the thing. It's like every dog is going to be different. There's no one way that dogs react or respond. Just is it not necessarily normal, but is it common?
Yeah, within range, right?
Within a certain range, absolutely. But you're right.
That was my point.
Normal at all. You're just like, there's nothing normal about the level of blood this dog is. Doesn't seem right, but but they would know better than we would.
She didn't make an actual determination of whether yes she could be bred or no she could not be bred. Okay, she said the uterus went through a lot. Okay, and me as the owner and Amber had to look at what was in the best interest of the dog. We haven't fixed her yet. Okay.
Yeah. That's a great thing, man. You're doing the right thing. It's whatever you feel is right, man. If you feel like she's had enough, she's had enough.
That was it was big. She had a surgical, and she did what she was set out to do, produce puppies, and that she did do. But I am not going to risk her life for another litter. I don't think it would be good for her to have another litter. We had some complications with the temperature and stuff over the weekend, and she went to the vet Friday, again on Saturday. Everything was non-founded. She was still good to go. The temperature came down. It was just one of those sporadic things. But Thursday, she when Bonnie called me, I was already freaked out about my dog all week. Okay, and it wasn't Bonnie's fault. It was nothing she did, but I was visibly upset. I was worried about my dog. Okay, and I was crying because I was worried about my dog. All right, I have no qualms about saying that I cry. I'm a man, and I will shed a tear. Okay. I was worried about my dog. But she's doing much better now. She's doing really good right now. No fever. Puppies are doing great. We bring the puppies home on Sunday. So Bonnie's got the puppies up for the first 2 weeks because it's really hard for me and Amber. We both work full-time jobs. Okay. And we're trying to start something from the bottom. So we still have to work, we still have to go to work, and provide for the family on top of our expensive, she'll say my expensive habit, but, but
that it becomes.
Bonnie will take took them for the first 2 weeks, and then we bring them home. I'll be home with them all week next week, and then Amber's on vacation. She'll be home with them all week the next week, and then we'll be in the week 5 where we can leave them a little bit longer by themselves in between feedings, because she gets home at noon. Okay, so I leave at 7:30, 8 o'clock, 8:15. So I would have to get up, feed the puppies, and then they should be good until mom gets home at noon.
Yeah,
I tell you
absolutely.
At
what,
5 weeks
man,
old.
people really don't realize they don't, man. I know they don't because I didn't, right? How much goes into the from the time they're born in the next couple of months? I mean, it is
It's around the
wild,
clock.
man.
It's
Yeah.
around the clock.
It is a circuit of action for sure,
Mm-hmm.
and it's
Mhm.
and so much more goes into it than what people think, but I'll tell you what, in light of that we really learned. We were so nervous the first time, and of course nervous, excited the second, but in a different way. Um, and I learned from experienced breeders, they'll let you do a lot, but they can do so much more of that than you think if you let them, you know.
Yeah.
And I tried this second time, like I busted the sacks, and then like I let her clean them up and do the whole thing. I did help with the cords. I didn't like her chewing through them. I felt like it was too risky
I
to
felt they were
pull.
going to pull them a little
Yeah,
too hard
pull
and
pull
herniate.
from. Yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
Right.
was worried about. So
Yes.
I let her clean, and when she got to where she started doing that, I just cut it. I cut it far enough back where it wasn't an issue, and dealt with it later. I didn't have any problems with excessive bleeding or anything like that. But I cut it about 6 inches from the pup. I didn't tie it. I didn't clamp it. The first time we did all these clamps and all this stuff, and it was a real problem.
We
They've
were
wound up being,
tying. I had string from grandma's sewing room
and it
next
won't
door.
stay
Like,
on and all that. The
Thread.
string.
Yeah. Threading
We
them.
tried dental
Yeah.
floss and little
yeah,
clamps and all that, and it
Well,
seems to
and
be
a lot
more
of people
trouble
don't
than it's.
realize that floss is also it's hypoallergenic if you get the stuff that's not minted. Like you
Uh,
can actually in the field you can use it as stitching. You can actually
yeah,
stitch with yep with
yeah.
floss.
But we really tried this time, and it's my wife. I have to give it to her. She's like, baby, listen to me. I've had some babies. You know, she can do a lot of this on her own, but you have to get out of the damn way and let her, because I'm wanting to get involved so much, and it's not just the cleaning; it's after that, feeding them and checking them, and you haven't fed these, and like, if she'll do a lot more of it, and it's a lot easier for the puppies to be took care of if you let her figure out that they need her and she needs them, and they have this, like, this is the thing I have to do. I'm a new mom now, instead of like, oh God, I'm tired and dad's gonna take care of it all, uh, because that's what I did. I'm in there like, don't worry, baby, you just lay down. I got it. I'm gonna do that.
the
I'm gonna do that.
the
And my
initial the initial in the beginning when the adrenaline dump happens. That's when everybody's adrenaline dump is happening. When I say
Oh,
everybody's, you
you
got the
buy
dogs, mine, the wives, the kids. You got about 30 minutes of pure freaking terror because everybody's trying to figure out what
what are you
is
doing?
going on and what are we doing. Okay, but after that, you get a rhythm going. It's a little
Yeah.
bit easier to deal with. But
Oh,
what is
for
she
sure.
it
talking
definitely
about
was a
right here,
humbling
Amanda?
experience.
Holland is saying something
He
about.
had asked what was the oldest that you would be willing to breed your female age wise. What is the oldest female you'd be willing to breed?
Well, she's 3 right now, so
Mhm.
the Nebby's 3. If that's kind of right there for me, depend.
Uh,
Once again, it depends on the female. Okay,
Absolutely.
yeah,
Very much so.
well,
it depends on the female. I'm not
it,
going to breed her 4 or 5 times. Absolutely not. That ain't any
yeah,
female. Like quality of life comes in play for me.
Yeah,
Okay, like, yeah, did I produce the dog or buy the dog to further my program and help get me forward? Yes, and if she's
sure.
going to
But at what
produce
price? What
puppy,
cost?
give
Yeah.
give me puppies, yes, but I want to make sure that when that time is done for her, she's going to have quality of life. Like Nebula already has a pet home she's going to go to. She's going to my vet tech Jen's house. So
Nice.
she has a relationship with her. It's going to be hard, okay, to let her go, but that's where she's going to go. And
Yeah.
go chase
Oh,
chickens and eat chicken a la foot, with the feathers still on. That.
of course, this goes
Well,
digest so well. Uh,
Hmm.
Michael, because he wants everybody's opinion on this.
yeah,
What's
I'll say that mine's not far from what ABKC says is should be done. It is a little different than that, but I would say that would be a good rule of thumb to go by. They say that once the dog is old enough and has come fully matured, around I prefer the third heat myself. Some people think the second is appropriate. That's kind of up to your own discretion there on that. But I would say once she's old enough to be bred, she can be bred 4 consecutive times in a row and retired, is what ABKC says. Me personally, as a breeding program, I feel like you should be able to get anything you want done in that amount of time, but there are exceptions. It's not an every time thing. Some dogs, they just do their thing so well, and they're already such great dogs that you use them again. But I would say that if you're going to breed them, the quicker you can get all your breedings out of the way and get her fixed, um, I would think is the right thing to do. So if you were to go by them, I'd say, yeah, 3 or 4 years old, they're getting to the end of that, because I didn't know this. Well, I've known it for a while now, but I didn't always know that with dogs. It's not this way with everything, I don't think, like it is with dogs, but it really scars their uterus
yes,
Hmm.
every time they have, uh, you know, puppies, of course, and then it scars them from having heat cycles too.
this does.
Uh, it's their I think it's their cervix is also, but I think is it the cervix or the uterus that they get scarred from a heat cycle? I think
Yes,
it's
yeah. So
I, I
yeah,
think it's the
that
uterus,
it's like,
but
well, you might as well breed them if there's already going to be scarring. But
right. And that was my thing. It scars them every time they have a cycle anyway. So that a lot of people don't know that if you're just skipping heats, you skip 2 or 3 heats in a row, it's scarring your dog
The
anyway,
cysts will
every
start
time.
flying.
So
But
it's
you got the not just the skipping of the heat, but say, like, for instance, we tried to breed Nebby twice before this, okay, and it looked like she absorbed one litter, okay,
uh,
and she didn't take one litter and she absorbed the last time, okay, and then this time I did a culture on her, and then I did antibiotics. We did Baytril on her, and then she had a surgical. Okay,
uh,
so and the surgical, you could see, like, I got boom. I did pretty much the same thing with Cheyenne. All right, I took her in for a culture,
mhm.
put her on Baytril, and then she had her surgical. Okay, and then she got pregnant.
Keep working.
All right. Well, I like to. If you don't take it now, this is how it's going to go from here on out. Like, if you don't take on an AI on the first hit, on the first time I do you an AI, I'm not playing. You're getting a surgical the next time, because I can't sit here and throw spaghetti at the wall and wish that it sticks every damn time. Okay,
Yeah,
because now you're 6 months behind your original plan. Each time that
yes,
happens, six to seven
absolutely.
months behind.
It changes
Uh,
lots of things when you do that.
Yeah,
Absolutely, for sure.
so
Um,
you get one hit, and then if you don't take, you go into a surgical, and then if you don't take on a surgical, then we got to figure out why you're not. There's
Yeah.
something else going on.
well, we got
yeah,
a bunch of questions rolling in. But before we get to those, but first I want to hear from Amanda, because you were also asked, and I wanted to
yeah,
also add, before we go past it, that like we said, it does depend on the female. It's definitely something to consult with your vet about. But if you got breeding plans for the female, I just wanted to reiterate that it's get your plans in motion, get them done, because like he said, they had to try 2 or 3 different things,
Mhm.
and it's really hard on them. It's all really hard on them, and they really do their thing for us. So to me, I feel like you should get the stuff done you're going to do with them, and get it done, and then get her checked out by your vet, and your vet, because Caleb's been through this. Your vet might say, you know what, her uterus is actually in really good shape,
Hit it again.
and
Yep.
she's okay.
Mhm.
Or they might say, hey, she's only had 2 litters, but I would recommend you not do another one. So that's where a good working relationship with your vet
Oh, for sure.
would be a big deal.
Oh,
It's
definitely.
important.
Mhm.
It's important.
Would you think so, Caleb?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, the vet's gonna know the inside and out. Like, the outs.
Yeah.
Like, now look at your dog's eyes. The dog's eyes is gonna tell you so much, like what the dog's
Mhm.
going through and things like that. And the body's gonna respond. But yes, if you miss heats, the body still reacts like it's going through a pregnancy, and then
It does.
cysts can form where those puppies would be, starting to grow, on the ovaries and things like that. And that's so yes, like ABKC, if you're going to breed, start on the 3rd cycle. I like to wait 3rd cycle, 2 years old,
Mhm.
ideally 2 to 4 years old, depending on the female, depending on how she reacts, depending on how many times I've cut her.
Mhm.
Every cut's going to put, scar tissue, obviously, but, for surgicals, for C-sections, how they
What do you
respond,
got?
how active they
Give it to
are. There's
daddy.
so many different variables.
Drop it.
But yeah, ideally 2 to 4.
Give it to daddy.
I would breed, I would do probably 3 breedings. If she really, really responds well and she likes
Let go.
being a mother, don't make them do something they're not, maybe a 4th time. But yes, get them out of the way so they can still have a good life, but also have their life in mind. If the dog's not responding well, don't breed her to death. Like
Right. Yeah.
that's a terrible, terrible way.
Oh, yeah. No, and then it's just not it's just not advocating very, very well for the breed or for any dog for all that matter. But yeah, no, I mean when you think about, because you also, it's not even just like the dog itself, but it's just logically speaking. And the same could be said about humans. You don't want to breed too late either. So when it comes to that final age, you've got to ask yourself, like, when is it that most of these dogs hit absolute full maturity, right? That's roughly 4 to 5 years old, right?
Hmm.
After that point, the
Twinkie.
rebound is going to get
No,
really
ma'am.
fucking hard. It's going to get harder and harder on
100%.
the dog.
No,
So
ma'am.
so absolutely, if you're gonna be breeding these dogs, I think it's the ABKC. Is it like 7, something like that? Like 6 or 7 years old is what they say.
Yeah, I believe so. I believe it's 7.
And it's just like one of those things where it's like I wouldn't even push it that far. I
No.
mean, 6 would be the latest I would even conceive of it, and that's like she's 6 when the litter drops. Like,
And that's a one-off. That's got to be a special
and
female
that's got to
that
be like
like
a
just
boost.
rebounds,
Yeah.
incredible mother. Like,
Mhm.
yeah, whelp's very good because it's a
Yeah,
toll.
it
It's
has to be
such a
well
toll.
worth it. Yeah, because the rebound again is going to be, it's going to get harder and harder on her to physically rebound, because it does torment on the dog, even down to its fucking bone density. So because it just changes the makeup. So it's just you've got to take the dogs into consideration. So yeah, I wouldn't breed a dog past even 6. It's just 5 even would
Yes,
be really pushing your luck.
absolutely.
Amanda, you can get back in the comments and stuff. I noticed we had a few questions there. I hate for
Yeah,
people
no,
that
no,
are
no, absolutely.
interacting with us there to get
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
skipped over.
So Chris Tobin actually very, very early on, when you were talking about the supplements you were giving your dogs, Brandon, he'd asked if Follic was good. Yes, the answer is yes. Definitely
Oh,
do.
prenatals.
Definitely do that
Yes, prenatals.
because it's going to help. It's a good
Prenatals.
preventative. Yeah, it's good preventative, especially for like any sort of like birth defects, cleft palate, which is in our breed is a whole thing. And so yeah, the Follic does actually help reduce the risk factor of cleft palate. So yes, Follic.
Yes,
Um,
prenatals.
yes.
It's just as simple. This is just as simple as just going to the store and just
Mhm.
get regular prenatals. That's what
Yeah.
that's what we put them on.
Mhm.
Just regular prenatals, just like Amber was taking with the babies. That's
Oh,
it.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Your hair and your nails look fabulous for a while. But yes, well, small price to pay.
Oh
But yeah,
gosh.
then Mr. Holland also asked, when it comes to ages, which of like first breeding, which I think we all really kind of low key touched on, and I feel like we all felt the same. It's somewhere between 2 and 3 at the most years of age, like on the third cycle. So yeah, I would say that's probably the early.
Usually the third cycle's around the 2 year mark, 20
Mhm,
months, 2 years,
mhm,
something like that. But I can tell you this right here, and this is just my preference. If a dog is still too much of a puppy, if she just has no
wait.
maturity at all, I may wait till the fourth. If because
Oh,
I had
you
a
know your
female that
dog
still
watching.
thought I mean, she's just a puppy as puppy, like not ready to be a mom at all, and I felt like, you know what, she's old enough, but she's still a little young to
The
me.
the switch hasn't flipped yet in her.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
And so
exactly.
I
Mhm.
chose to
So
wait to the
important.
fourth on one of mine. Um, you know, that was just me. It depends. You got to kind of use what you know about your dogs and try to figure it
But
out.
Yeah, mental and
For
physical
sure.
maturity.
Oh,
Absolutely.
definitely. Yeah. And then, so as far as questions are concerned, there weren't, other than those
Sykes
questions.
asked another one too down there. I seen.
Let's see here, Mr. Sykes.
Wasn't too long ago.
So if the goal is 4 litters, but you miss 1 or 2, do you keep trying?
I think you
Depends
can
on
if you're
why.
still within that range.
case by case scenario.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's for sure, man.
Case by
What are
Absolutely.
the
Some
case.
causes
people
of the
some people say,
misses?
you can do one and skip one and do one, but the thing is, it scars every time. So, you're it's a ticking clock for sure.
Yeah.
I would definitely, if I bred a dog twice and missed 2 heats or whatever, it's just a trip to the vet, man. Get her
Yeah.
checked, make sure that she's still okay,
Mhm.
to do it. That type of thing right there, I try not to play by ear. You know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
let the vet
Oh,
tell me she's all right. If she's all right, I'll give
Yeah.
it another shot.
sure. Absolutely. Absolutely. But,
You can
and
tell when your dog doesn't feel good. You can tell when there's something wrong, especially
That's right.
with your dog.
yeah, they don't always
Okay,
keep it
like
to themselves. Yeah,
no.
absolutely. And Caleb made a good
I'll be
point.
the first one to tell you I'm outside checking poop.
We're those weirdos. We're like, okay, I need to like you're analyzing poop,
I
and
got
they're like,
where's
why are
where's
Yes.
my stick? Where's my stick? I'm out here.
Uh-huh.
yeah,
Yeah,
The poop tells so much.
yeah,
Book tells so much, man. I know
it
yeah.
does.
for anybody who's
Yeah,
probably thinking like, what? But it's
yeah.
real.
People look at us like we're psychos. And I get it,
Yes,
but
I want a
little do
nice
they know.
solid I want a nice solid turd. Like just a little bit or just one pile, like a nice solid. That means they're intaking all that protein. That means their body's
Mm-hmm.
processing what it needs to and they're digesting it very
And it's
well.
not very much.
And
Yeah.
yes, you don't want a loose stool. You don't want there's so many different things that you can find in the stool.
Bonnie
I
just called
said,
us poop Nazis.
what
Yes.
is
But
it?
hey,
Yeah, it is a whole thing, and people don't really know too much about that. They don't
You
they don't
know,
understand the importance of it until you actually describe it, and then the next time that their dog is pooping, they're eyeballing it too, and you're like, yeah, something to it.
hmm
I'll tell you something I did different the second time than the first time that I really felt like I really liked the way we did it the second time.
Mhm.
I was so worried about any kind of like wormer and anything like that because a lot of them are not good for
Okay.
pregnancies.
Nope.
But the most common one that starts with a P that I can never spit out right, Caleb, was,
Pyrantel.
yeah, that's what y'all use.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
it
Right.
seems to not affect a pregnancy like the rest of them, according to everything that
That's
I've
the one we
found.
give during they're pregnant is the
Uh-huh.
Pyrantel.
And I'll tell you what, I with Remy, I did not do any wormers, even right up to the close to the time of the heat cycle and stuff. I was worried about all that, and we had a real problem with worms with the puppies. Like by the time like we couldn't even wait till week 3. We were having problems. I was like, man, we got to worm them now, and they had
yeah.
worms bad. But with Freya, she was probably 2 weeks pregnant, and I gave her a good 3-day cycle of wormer. The right wormer. Make sure you're using the right one. And I tell you what, um, we wormed our puppies at 3 weeks, and they had nothing.
Nice.
at all. And then wormed them again at 6, nothing again. They
I
had not
wormed
one worm in one puppy, nothing.
I wormed
And
Nebby
so I
two
will
weeks.
say it made a huge difference.
Yeah.
Yeah. Parental. Yeah. It's that's one of those ones that like it's tried and true. Now they tell you obviously when your dogs are not when they're not pregnant that you should actually rotate the type of wormer that you use.
I
We
like to
Yeah,
do
they
that.
get immune.
I worm once a
So they,
month.
yeah, they don't. Yeah, so they don't adapt. But yeah, when they're pregnant, that yeah, there's only like 2 different kinds that are acceptable. So I mean, you do have to play that one a little bit closer to the vest, but at the same time, it's just like yeah, they're otherwise yeah, definitely rotate your
I like
wormers.
to use Safeguard a couple times a year to throw in the mix with the other different things that I use.
Like Bonnie said, Pyrantel and Panicure. Those are
Yeah, those,
the
those 2
two
safe
that
ones. Mm-hmm.
we rotate. So I worm once a month, and then I do Pyrantel 1 month, and then the next month it's Panicure. They don't like the
Nice.
Panicure because it's like a white chalky, so they don't like it at all.
Yeah,
Okay.
they those
Oh.
come in some weird. Well, because you get them at like I get mine at Tractor Supply, and they come in like this long tube of paste. And you have
Two,
to like,
yep, and then you break it
adjust
down.
like in
So
accordance to like how many pounds they are, and it's just and it's a paste, and they hate it, even though they're like, oh, it tastes like
so
apple because it's for horses, and I'm like, it don't taste like apple.
Bonnie taught us to take it completely out of the tube.
Mm.
Okay, take it completely out of the tube, put it in a bowl, add a little bit of water to it, stir it up because the contents within inside the tube itself, sometimes the mixes aren't exactly right. Okay, so if you mix it up in the bowl and it makes it more of like into the pyrantel consistency,
Yes.
it works out much better and they like it a little bit better. It goes in the
Good
syringe
tidbit.
much better.
Yeah. Oh, for sure it
You're
does.
still,
Yeah.
but you do end up wearing it a lot faster. Okay,
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
they don't like it. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is very, very, very true. Yeah, worming has always been that thing that it can get messy, like during and then quite possibly after, which hopefully is never after because obviously that means there was a problem to begin with. But during, it's just everywhere. You're wearing it. They're wearing it. It's
I
I'll
wormed
you
Nebby
talking
2
about
weeks
wormer?
prior to her having puppies.
I'm
So
gonna tell y'all something that's a life changer, man. My wife will have to say in the comments if she's still on here what the name of the company is. Y'all can hit me up and I'll look it up and see. It's something with an R. The company that we order these products from.
Revival.
I think that is it. And
Revival.
I don't know. I tell you, I can only retain so much. I tell you what. But they have a wormer that is chicken flavored, and I'm going to tell you right now, they'll fight over it. There won't be no fight to get them to use it.
Shut,
You know, the
shut
whole
your
thing where you're like,
face.
Dave, I'm pretty sure I just aspirated half the litter trying to get this wormer down. All that's over with, man. I'm telling you right now, that chicken flavored wormer, they'll fight over it. It's
Don't
like
tell
they love it.
Cheyenne that. She's her favorite thing is chicken.
I'll tell
Chicken?
you right now, man.
Chicken?
I was telling my pops, y'all have heard me talk about my pops before. He'd been breeding bird dogs for 62 years. And so like I told him, I said, Pops, I'm pretty sure I aspirated half my litter. I could not get, I mean, I thought they're just going, anything not to swallow it, and I'm like, you little bastards, and I cannot get them to take one little bit and swallow it, it's a nightmare. And I just called and I'm like, oh, Pops, you gotta help me,
I don't know what I did.
and he's like, son, are you not using the chicken warmer? I was like, what? Chicken warmer?
Chicken
What?
warmer.
He's like, yeah, I switched to that a long time ago. It's a big deal. And I'm like,
Feel
I
free.
need it over here now,
Cube.
And I
It's
tell
enough.
you what, man, it is worth it.
Life
I
changing.
promise. No more fight. You put it in a bowl, they'll lick it dry.
Mhm.
Done.
Absolutely. Oh, for
Yeah.
sure.
Y'all check that out if you haven't tried it. I promise it's worth it.
He said, if I'm lying, I'm dying. It
I
works.
promise you. I'll
Yes,
never use
it is.
anything else. But if you already have a bunch of money spent on stuff you got from your vet, to these 16-ounce bottles or whatever, and you got plenty of it, if you talk them out of it, you can add honey to it. And raw honey from your local area is good for the dogs anyway. We put just a little teaspoon of honey in there with it and mix it up. And they're kind of like, oh, like they'll think like, oh, you're trying to trick me a little bit, but the honey's good enough. I'll do it, you know?
Yeah, we're like, oh, this is good though. So either way, I might cooperate.
That works. But once we used all that, we'll never use anything but that chicken again.
He said chicken is the where it's at.
It's where it's at, man. I promise.
2 turntables and a microphone.
For sure.
Seriously,
Sure.
that's like that medicine that tastes like bubble gum for kids. It's like, listen, whatever it takes, bro, whatever it takes.
As long as it didn't taste like the one that tastes like banana peels, you know, like the dry.
Did you hear about the chicken wormer,
peels.
Caleb?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm listening.
Oh yeah. Hey, dude. You know that fight where they spit every drop of it out?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man. It's the first time I used it after all the fights I've had with puppies and wormer, even the big dogs with wormer. I mean, it's like you're trying to drown them. They just hate it, you know.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But they will really, really appreciate it.
Yeah. Hey, Brandon. So I want to
Yes,
peel
sir.
back I want to peel back layers to this onion that your program is. Your program, it stands for a lot. You hit on family. You know, you hit on a lot of things, but let's dive into your program. How your program came about, why it's so family oriented. Let's dive.
All right, so are we gonna need the tissues or we're not gonna need the tissues?
I mean, we might. But
100%.
go for it.
All right, so
Be brave, man.
all right, so here's where it goes. All right, so the kennel name is KK's Bully Camp. Okay, that's derived from my daughter. Okay, my daughter's name is Kaylee, or her name was Kaylee. Kaylee Marie Hatch. Kaylee was with me from the time she was 2.5, 3 years old. I had custody of her. Okay, so for the longest time, it was just me and Kaylee. Now, was I always the best dad and around all the time? No, I was young and dumb and running around, but I did have my mother that was here, helped us out a lot, helped me out a lot, along with my grandparents. But for the most part, Kaylee was with me. And along came my wife, Amber, you know, and them two hit it off really good. Me and Amber have been together 10 years, roughly. You know, we're celebrating 8 years this coming year of marriage. You know, Kaylee, we made KK's Bully Camp shortly before Kaylee passed away of osteosarcoma, a cancer. Okay, so before Kaylee got real sick, I said, well, we got to find this kennel name for the dogs. And we toss all these different kennel names around, you know, the Brandon and Amber's kennel or whatever, the kids' kennel. I didn't want to have kennel after it. So, well, Kaylee's nickname was KK. Okay. That was her nickname all the time. Kids in school, KK, you know, KK the baby girl. So why the hell not? We made it KK's Bully Camp. You know, I know the camp thing gets confusing with other people sometimes because they're like, well, what training do you do? This, that. Right now, that's just our name. We're nowhere near that part yet. Okay, but it was what flowed good for us at that time.
Yeah.
How old was she?
She was 21 when she passed away. Okay. If you look within my logo, okay, you'll see the bully in the logo. And then at the top it says, truth and transparent for a better breed. You know, honest and transparent for a better breed. But on the sides of the logo itself, you see the little yellow ribbons. Mm-hmm. The yellow ribbons are not there we support the troops. We do support the troops, but the yellow ribbon for us stands for childhood cancer awareness. Okay, and anywhere you see us, whether it's going to be on the KK's Bully Camp logo or within the Kaylee's Kids stuff, you're always going to see the yellow ribbon. Like I have yellow ribbons when we're at the dog shows I'll have ribbons out that have Kaylee's name on them. Yeah, see the yellow ribbons on there. The pink is Kaylee's favorite color. Okay, like and the paw prints are pink because it's pink with Kaylee's favorite color. You know, we did it to honor her. You know, and I say this. So when we were in the hospital, like me and my wife and Kaylee, this is like the last week before she passed away. Kaylee was laying in the bed. And the one thing she asked me and Amber to do was to not give up on our dogs. Okay, to keep going with our dogs, not to give up. Well, we did our best to not give up. We kept going. And here we are right now. Everything happens for a reason, I believe. I don't believe it was fair that they had that Kaylee got the hand of cards she was dealt, but that's just the way it goes. So
How long ago was that, Brandon?
she passed away on November 11th, 23. She was 21 years old. So I'll back up a little bit before all of that. Kaylee was diagnosed with osteosarcoma at age 17. She was working during peak season at UPS where I work. Okay, she was on the car with another driver being a jumper during holiday season because we take on holiday seasonal helpers, and she was doing that. Okay, I had my neighbor's son on the car with me. She went on the car with one of my fellow drivers, Steve. We were all working in the same area, but she was on that car over there. Steve calls me and goes, Kaylee's complaining about her leg hurting really bad. She jumped off the car. So here I am, I'm dad, okay? Like, she's 17. I'm thinking she's just trying to get out of work, okay?
Oh, no.
All right. So I call my mom. My mom picks her up. My mom says, all right, we're going to take her to urgent care. So she takes her to urgent care. They do x-rays. It's about 6 o'clock at night now. My mom calls me on the phone and she goes, we have to have a serious talk about Kaylee's leg. I go, oh, she hurt her knee, like twist her knee. What's going on? And no, she goes, we have to go see a specialist. Okay. They think she might have cancer. I go, what?
That's the last thing I'm sure you thought you were going to do.
Like, what? My dog? Hold on. Let's say that again. She goes, my mom's trying not to cry. Okay. Yeah. She's like, no, they think she might have cancer. We got to go see a specialist. So we go to the specialist the next day. From there, we're sent to Moffitt. They do a biopsy at Moffitt. Okay. The next day, the biopsy comes. The day or the day after, the biopsy comes back, and sure enough, she has cancer. It's called osteosarcoma. Now, that type of cancer affects children, adolescents can start as early as, I believe, 8 years old and go all the way into their early 20s. Yeah. Okay. Kaylee was 17. She had a lump on her right leg, just on the right femur, just above the knee, about 4 inches above the knee. We went from being just a regular American family, just living our regular lives, going to work every day, coming home to, oh shit, what do we do?
Yeah, okay. What can you do?
So we go from Moffitt, we get to go over to Johns Hopkins All Children's Hospital. Okay, and we spent a lot of time there. She had to go through chemo before she could have her surgery. So she went through 3 different rounds of chemo to kill the tumor in her leg before they could even have the surgery. Yeah. So she had to have a full knee replacement in her right leg. So like I said, about 4 inches above the knees where the tumor was. So they cut the femur about 6 inches up on the leg above the kneecap and down on the bottom, her lower leg down there did the same thing, and she had a titanium rods like this that made the kneecap. It
Yeah.
made the knee. So inside you had titanium from like here to here, and the only thing that was left that was hers was the kneecap. Everything else
Yeah.
was they took out. Well, she did good after surgery. She went into remission, and then she was 20 years old. She was doing really good, gaining weight. She got to 20 years old. It was right before her birthday, and it was January something. And I said, Kaylee, when's the last time you went and got your scans done?
Right.
Because she was looking a little skinny. Okay, she was looking a little skinny, and she wasn't having much of an appetite, and it raised concerns for Dad.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Um, I had to call and make the arrangements for her to get her scans done because she didn't want to do it because she was scared. Okay, she was scared. Um, she takes my truck that day, goes to John Hopkins, gets the scans done. I'm in the shower later on that afternoon because at the time I'm working nights. I'm driving a semi truck for UPS, and I'm getting ready to go to work. I'm in the shower. My son comes and knocks on the door and says, "Dad, Sissy's in the room. She needs to talk to you." I said, "Well, all right, son. Well, let me finish." No, he's like, "Dad, Sissy's out here crying. She needs you now." I turn the shower off, put my shorts on. I'm soaking wet still. I come out, and the first thing she says, she looks at me and she goes, "Dad, it's back." And I sat there staring at her, and she said, "Dad, I don't need you to cry right now. I need you to not cry. I just need you to listen."
Yeah.
Our job as parents are to protect our children at every cost, whatever it takes. Okay. And it's hard to protect your child from something you can't see.
Yes.
Not once, but twice. When they did the scans this time, then I talked to the doctor. Now it has attacked her vital organs, which is another thing that this particular cancer does. It attacks the lungs, anything that it touches, typically like the lungs and the kidneys and things. So it looked like you ever decorated a Christmas tree with white lights, and that's all that's on there. So when you plug in the Christmas tree, all you see is a white light.
Mm-hmm.
That's what her x-rays and her scans look like of her insides here. And it was at that point that she made a decision that she didn't want to go through chemo again, because the last time the chemo almost took her itself twice, and she didn't want to go through that again. So she's 20 years old, going on 21. She's making her decisions. I'm just there to guide her, okay, making the right decisions. Amber too, like that was our job. Ultimately she makes her decisions. I just there to guide her. She said she didn't want chemo again, and as hard as it was for us to listen to her say she didn't want to undergo treatment, and after talking with the doctor, and there was no, people talk about timelines, okay, there is no timeline, okay, like there is no timeline. Like we made a decision to do what was in the best interest of her and let her live her best life until she couldn't. Now, back in 2023, we had a hurricane skirt up the west coast over here. Okay, it stayed offshore. It hit the panhandle, but the bridges and everything were closed down here.
Yeah.
Like I could not get her over to John Hopkins until the bridges reopened. And when the bridges reopened, I put her in the truck. She hadn't eaten in 2 days. She'd been laying on the couch, resting. Like she didn't really have an appetite. I knew she was already dehydrated. Her temperature was not too elevated, but it was about 100 degrees. Okay, and for her being the size that she was, it's not good.
No.
So I, I figured if we got her to the hospital and we got her hydrated and got her to where she was going to eat again, you know, she'd feel a little better. And we, it's like a vicious circle. Okay, she gets dehydrated. You take her, and she gets fluids and gets an appetite. She starts eating again, and we come home. Well, she was there for 3 days, I think, and her breathing changed. She was up on the seventh floor, and her breathing changed. Before her breathing stopped, before her breathing changed, I'm up on the couch with her upstairs. This is where Kaylee's kids comes in. Okay, we're up on the couch. I'm laying on the couch. I'm on my phone or watching TV. I forget what I was doing, and she's laying in the bed, and she's always coloring. She's either coloring or painting or doing something arts and craftsy. That's what she does. Okay, like she's got all kinds of paintings in the kids' room and the shed out there. Her brother up in North Carolina has got some of her stuff. The hospital has some of her stuff hanging up over there. That's what she did. And she goes, well, Dad, she said, Dad, you know what I want to do? What's that, baby? She goes, I want to have a truck show. Oh, okay. What kind of truck show? She goes, I want to have a truck show and have people bring arts and craft supplies. And then when the truck show's over, I want to bring them to the hospital and donate them to the hospital. Okay. All right. I like that idea. We can do that. Well, 3 days later, her breathing changed, and she had to have a machine put on her that gave positive pressure, not to help her breathe, but to put positive pressure to expand her lungs. Because now, remember when I said her lungs look like a Christmas tree back in January? Well, now we're in beginning of September, into August and September. It's 10 times worse now. She didn't see it. I saw the pictures. She wouldn't look. Okay.
Dang. Okay.
3 months, then 3 days later, like I said, she couldn't. She was on that machine and positive pressure, and she's getting angry because she wants to talk. Okay, but this thing is. She's got this thing over her mouth, and it's pushing air down into her lungs. And she's trying to talk, and she's getting so angry at everybody because you can't hear her, but she's trying to talk to you. Okay, she would have certain moments where she could talk without the machine on, but it wasn't for very long. Okay, we even tried the bigger nasal one that pushed straight CO2 up her nose. It's the bigger ones, like not the little tiny ones that you see on the shows all the time, but the big. Those things are like big, pushing air under her nose, and it slowly went downhill after that until she closed her eyes and never opened them up again. She closed her eyes early that September morning after she tried to go to the bathroom, and she yelled out for Amber trying to go to the bathroom, and we got her back in the bed, and I told her I loved her, and Amber told her she loved her, and she said love you back, and that was pretty much the last words. She closed her eyes for at 8:45 that night.
Said it was in
11th,
September.
2023. Yeah, September 11th, 2023.
My wife and I lost our 18-year-old son September 1st. Well,
Your
this
feet
coming
hit the floor a lot different, don't they, Mike?
Yeah, September 1st. This coming September will be 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Your feet hit the floor different every day.
yeah.
Some days it's a struggle to get up.
I
And
learned
then,
so much about grief and about just the different stages of it and all of it. But yeah, it's hard as the dad too. It's tough. There's nothing like losing a kid. I seen Broom on here. Furman Broom said where he lost his two children in a tragic accident. Nothing compares to the loss of a child.
absolutely
Yeah,
not.
yeah. I can tell you this, man. Just to to put some light at the end of it, when we first lost our son, my wife was just, you know, as you would expect, and she was sitting on the couch, and you know, everybody's just stuck, and there was all this family or all these people all over the place, and she's just stuck on the couch. And I just got through letting all the dogs out, and been put up because there was all these people here, and it was just too much. When I put them back in, I was going to put pressure up, and my boy Pressure seen her, and he laid down on the floor, and he's just a big brute. And he laid down on the floor and just army crawled to her and crawled up on the couch, and I'm calling him, and he's not listening at all. Crawled up on the
Yeah.
couch, put his head in her lap, and didn't move all day. That was it. And she told me, like, that I would never know what that did for her in that moment. For him, like, he comforted her in a way, in a time that nobody else could have. And
Dogs.
they're dogs, man. They know, and she, that left a
There's a
mark on her
picture.
heart. She'll never forget it. So
There's a picture that George captured. I think it was in Pensacola, with Cheyenne's hugging me. Okay, and I say this a lot. Sometimes I don't know who's hugging who. Is she hugging me or am I hugging her? Because it was at that moment, one of those moments where I needed a hug, she needed a hug, and we were hugging it out. Okay,
yeah,
it's dogs, man, dogs.
they don't call a man's best friend for nothing.
No, no.
There is nothing on earth that compares to the relationship between humans and dogs. It's special. It's beyond
Yes.
just a symbiotic relationship. It's so much deeper than like the fish that follow sharks. It's not just about eating. It's so much more. Like, my dogs are different when I'm gone. If my girls are home and my dogs are here, somebody knocks on the door right now with me home, they might alert me to somebody being here. But I love that picture. But when I'm not here and somebody knocks on the door, it's
Yeah.
not an alert. It's a don't you dare.
Yeah.
She works for affection. You have to pay the love me tax
Yeah.
before and after the ring. Okay.
How cool is that?
Yeah, you have to pay the love me tax. You see my son? My son's like, how come I'm not getting a hug? Okay. He was handling her that day in junior, so he didn't get a hug like that.
He didn't get the love me tax. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't
So-
say there's just something about it that they heal what some people can't.
Yes. Sometimes she was sent here for a reason, like like I told you, things happen for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
And she was an angel that was sent to help me and my family, I believe, get through the harder times. I truly believe that. I believe that wholeheartedly.
Mm-hmm.
With the whole thing with Kaylee, and the art supply stuff, it took us about 6 months. Yeah, it took us 6 months before we decided, okay, we're going to do something, and that's when we created Kaylee's Kids. Now, Kaylee's Kids is our nonprofit foundation. Our main goal is to get tangible art supplies and get them back over to Johns Hopkins All Children's Hospital. The mission is, I believe it says, our mission here is to provide light in a time of darkness and uncertainty for children and families battling terminal cancer. So if we can provide light just for 5 minutes in that hospital room, and it put a smile on the child's face or the family's face, then we've achieved our goal. If we can do that with art supplies and crafts and things like that, like canvases, paints, pencils, Legos, things like that, those for we lived it in there. We got to see exactly what these things do for the kids in the hospital. All right, because look, they walk around with Bob. Okay, I'm going to use this as Bob. It's literally the cart. They're hooked up to this thing and they walk around with it down the hallway, back to the room. That's all. They might get to go downstairs to the playroom if they're up to it, but most of the time they're stuck on the floor.
Yeah.
And
well, I think that's a beautiful idea, and sounds to me like something that that those kids really need. So, hats off to you for that. It's a very, very, very amazing thing that y'all are doing there.
Yeah. A super important question is Mr. Holland here. He's actually asking, how can we support Kaylee's kids? I think this is a very, very, very great question.
Okay, so we do. You can support us. You can go. We do have Kaylee'sKids.org. That's our website, Kaylee'sKids.org. Now you have to keep in mind, I put that website together. I haven't updated it in a long time. I'm about as good as with a computer as I am with. I deliver packages way better than I work on a computer. Okay. I do need an IT guy. If anybody knows somebody that can run a website, I could use one of those. Or you can find us at Kaylee's Kids on Facebook. There's a lot of information on there. I have a Clover link that you can donate at any time. There is another link on the Kaylee's Kids Facebook page that we have an Amazon wish list. I don't know if I can grab it on here.
What is that link somebody just put on the screen there?
So I put on a link, and then Alyssa Temple, she also put a link for Kaylee's Kids on
Alyssa,
Facebook.
yeah.
So mine's on YouTube, hers is on Facebook.
Yes, Alyssa. Which one is that one, Alyssa? Let me open it up. I can't see it all. I think that's just a website. It won't let me open it up on here. Alyssa, can you post the can you post the wish list on there?
Oh yeah.
So we have an Amazon wish list. It is on the Kaylee's Kids Facebook page. On the post, we do have a golf. Yes, Bonnie's reminding me about the golf tournament. We do have a golf tournament coming up. The golf tournament's important because everything we do at Kaylee's Kids is donation driven, whether it's buying the art supplies or sending gift cards or whatever it is that we're able to do. We want to eventually get to a point where we can help actual families if they need to pay bills because they're stuck in the hospital.
Wow.
We want to be able to help out with gas cards. I know Chick-fil-A said they were going to get us some gift cards to hand out too. The thing is with the gift cards, I have to give them to the hospital, and the hospital gets to hand those out. Everything is vetted very well at the hospital. Because you can't just walk in. Yeah. Oh yes, you see the flame truck? I forgot.
I love this. This had to be highlighted. So yeah.
Yeah. So the flame truck, the company for the last 2 years has procured the flame truck on our delivery day. So we'll load up all the arts and crafts supplies that we get, and we put them in the flame truck, and we'll drive it over to the St. Pete campus, and we'll deliver the art supplies there. One of my fellow drivers, Cassie, she drives the truck, and I drive Kaylee's little black Ranger.
Nice.
So she'll drive the truck, I'll drive the Ranger, and we make it a pretty good delivery day. It's trying to get it bigger. I think we did like almost 5,000 the first year, a little over maybe $7,000 worth of stuff the second year. My wife did a really good job at repacking everything to make it look like we had less. But because she gets the stuff, when you order off of the wish list, so it sends it directly to our storefront at the UPS store, because we have an address at the UPS store. So all the boxes go there. When Amber gets off work, she goes and picks them up. She brings them home.
Nice.
She goes through everything. Okay, colored pencils, markers, paints, or whatever. She gets everything and itemizes it and puts it in boxes, and then she'll have markers, paints, and then she takes them to our storage unit. And I tell you, my wife is my rock in this house. she is. So whether it's the dogs or getting stuff together for the foundation, we are a legitimate foundation. We have a board, we have trustees.
Wow.
It's a real deal thing. I'm always working, even when I'm not working. I get in trouble for that too, because she gets angry with me. She's like, "You're always doing something." I'm at lunch. Like Caleb called me one day. I'm at lunch. And he goes, "What are you doing?" And I go, "Emails." I'm at lunch. I'm doing emails.
Yeah.
I can relate, man. It seems like I'm always working doing something. I swear.
Yeah. There's one of the flyers. I call that the church flyer. Okay, because that one doesn't have the alcohol on it.
That may or may not have been why I picked it.
Because it's golf. I'm not a big golfer, but I will tell you, I am going to partake in the golf game this year. It's on May 23rd. Caleb, I believe, is going to be at a show. I believe that same day
in Kentucky.
Yeah, Kentucky, I believe that's right. You too, right? I think you're going to be there, Amanda. Aren't you going to be there at that same
Kentucky,
show?
Yeah, Louisville. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Yeah, see, I knew I was right. I remember something.
Every once in a while, our brains have the tendency to work to
the Stewart show.
Yeah, Stewart reached out to Flag.
Yeah.
I wanted to show this picture because I think it's important to kind of put a visual to it all, because with what happened with Kaylee and all the things that have come of it, her legacy, it's y'all, it's your program, it's Kaylee's kids, it's all of these things, and it's all for her.
Yeah, so I think it's important, like when we do these events and we put together these flyers, people want to know what they're doing and what they're doing it for, why we're doing it. So I try to make sure that we put a story together so people can just not go, well, these people are just trying to make money to do whatever.
Yeah.
Everything that we do is donation driven, and if we don't get enough tangible items donated, Amber goes and buys them. Okay. She buys them from Ollie's or everywhere that she can find these supplies, she gets them. And every penny goes towards the foundation. Like this year, we actually have a better setup at the golf tournament than we had last year, all through donations. We actually got a Kaylee's Kids tent and 3 Kaylee's Kids table, one that's a golf table top, like the tabletops we have at the dog shows, that have the logos and stuff on them. Yeah, we actually have those this year. Each year we'll do a little bit better. The golf tournament, we're going to do the golf tournament in May. I want to try to do a clay shoot at the end of the year. That'll be our first one of those. This is our second event. You learn something new every time you do an event. Okay, like it's this year. I plan to maybe partake a little bit in the golfing side of things, but I'm not going to use a golf club. No, I have my own twist to doing things. So,
oh boy, there's gonna have to be pictures. There's gonna have to be
video. Didn't happen.
The George Bailey will be with me that day.
Nice.
So, yes, he will be there and taking pictures of me with my aluminum baseball bat, my croquet mallet, and the hockey stick in the catcher's.
There we go. Oh yeah, definitely. Bonnie wants to know, we doing the margaritas again?
Yes, there'll be margaritas again.
I don't see why
Yeah.
not. You know what I mean?
The margaritas were a bigger hit than the beer. You should have seen all these middle-aged guys running around with green cups last year. It was, I'm like, I didn't drink it all at the event. I'm not going to drink it all at this event either. I can't do it while I'm putting on an event, you
Yeah.
know. But I just to drive around and see these guys with these green cups with margaritas in them, like the guys that you would think would just be drinking beer all day. Nope, they
Mhm.
got these margaritas and they're just having a
Sounds like a
great
good
time.
time to me.
Super
Yeah.
nasty. That's so awesome. I love that, and it's for a great cause. They're enjoying themselves, and they get to kind of get outside of themselves for a day, and that's the kind of event that we can all get behind for sure.
Yeah. So we're right now, just like in a dog show, we're looking for sponsors. We're looking for corporate sponsors, whole sponsors. Anybody in the bully community can jump on and throw a sign out there if you want to promote your brand. It's $100 for a whole sponsor. You know, uh, you get a sign at a hole. I got unlimited spots for those. Corporate sponsorships, they're $800. So you get their name on the flyer, their name on the flyer and on the event banner, which I think I'm going to have a couple of those. The main banner will be inside where we do the raffle. So we are going to need raffle baskets, raffle items, and things of that nature. But the corporate will have all the corporate sponsors on it where golfers and stuff can take pictures in front of, so and do things, trying something different this year. My goal is 6 corporate sponsors. That's my goal. Our goal this year. Right now we have, I think, 1 locked in and 2 pending. So
Mm,
yeah,
Yeah,
that
let's get them
one.
3 more. Let's spread the word. Like,
Mhm.
y'all put it out there. Let's put it out there. Like, I
Yeah.
love it. Like, you literally turned a nightmare of a situation. Like, and you said it took 6 months to gather this. It probably took 6 months to gather yourself. And that's just, speaking as a father to another father. Like, but after 6 months, you literally said, I am going to honor my daughter in the best way possible. And every wish that she made, I am going to fulfill.
let me
Like,
try to
I
do our
commend
best.
you, man.
It's
No, you're doing it, man. That's the thing. Yes, you are. You're doing it.
and her birthday's in 2 days.
Ugh.
My daughter's
Yeah.
birthday's tomorrow. My daughter turns 10 tomorrow. And like hearing you like talk about this, it's like, man, I just want to go grab my daughter. And like, man, this is every day is a treasure, every day is. And like, man, like, and thank you so much for sharing this. And we're not done by any means, but I just want to let you know, like, thank you for sharing your story and not withholding and man, not being afraid of the emotions that come with it and
Some days
making
I
it
can
such a
talk about it.
possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some days I can talk about it and nothing happens, and then there's some days I can't talk. I start to talk about it and I lose my shit. Okay, like
Yeah.
there's some days I wake up and I don't want to do a damn thing, but I
Yeah.
have to.
Yeah.
I'll tell you something. It seems almost funny now, but we were always the people that, oh, so and so's going through this right here. Let's make a nice dish and bring some food,
Yeah.
and it sounds like the nice thing to do, right? But as Brandon can tell you, when you're on the other end of it and everybody's bringing food, well, then you have a house full of all this food. You feel guilty for not eating, and it all goes bad, and you got no place to put it, and
Yeah.
you feel terrible because everybody brought all this stuff, and you have no appetite. So it's like you got trash bags full of all this stuff. People took the time that brought you, ain't ate none of it.
Yeah.
And it all goes bad before you eat it. So if something we learned, like we're no longer the bring the food people, we're gift card people, right?
Yeah.
gift
Whenever.
card
Yeah.
gift
Whenever you're
gift
ready.
card to Walmart, gift card to whatever, and
Hmm.
you can go get whatever you need with it.
Here, I'm gonna show you guys something. This is Kaylee's wall. I don't know if you can see it.
Oh.
Okay, This is Kaylee's wall. All right. Um, this is Clint. Clint was one of her friends she was going with chemo with for the same cancer. He ultimately passed away too. So you got Kaylee here, Clint here, and this is Kaylee's mold that she had made a week before she passed.
That's the one you told me about.
Yeah, yeah, that's the
That
one.
just sums it up,
Oh,
doesn't
that
it?
is.
That's my daughter
Yeah.
in a
That's,
nutshell, right there. Okay, they said, well, you can do a peace sign, you can do
yeah.
thumbs up, and she goes.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what she did.
Oh my
You know,
Here,
gosh.
That's
that's
no, but I
Kaylee.
mean, we that it's one of those
this
things where it's like, screw cancer, and that was her.
Yeah, yeah,
That was her
that's
saying that. I bet.
Hey Brandon, so
yeah.
people are putting in the comments like your daughter's birthday. They said, is it Wednesday or is it Thursday? Like, is it the
It's March
fourth or is it the
4th,
fifth?
the
That's my
4th,
daughter's
It's
birthday that
tomorrow.
turns 10.
That's
That's
Wednesday.
crazy. That's
Dang it.
crazy.
March 4th. She was born at
Same birthday.
5:27 p.m. in the afternoon at Tampa General Hospital. Yeah. And I know what time she closed her eyes. Oh, 8:45 p.m.
But
So,
yeah, I mean, look what you've done with this, though. I mean, she'd be so proud.
well, we had to figure out a way to give back what she wanted to give back. So I have to say we didn't do this by ourselves. Okay. So when we first started this whole venture, I was talking to some bully friends, and they got us in contact with some people to help us get things going. So I think it was Jerry Allen got me in contact with Alex and Marlena Valdez over at Jack's Powerhouse Bullies, and Marlena got us all set up with the foundation stuff. Okay, and then um, to get us at our first dog show with the foundation was Daytona. So Rob Korn, Rolando, and Jerry and everybody, they all pushed to get everybody to bring stuff, art supplies to the Daytona show. And Christina, I don't know, I can't remember her last name, but she does shows over in Louisiana. Um, you guys might know, or Texas. One of,
Was it
but
Christina
she drove.
Tubbs? I know she was doing quite a
No,
bit of shows.
no, it wasn't Tubbs. It was another
I think she's
Christina.
actually in Arkansas, Caleb.
Maxwell, Christina Maxwell.
But she brought a whole bunch of stuff over from her show to the Daytona show and dropped it off personally there. So the bully community has helped us out before, but now we're to the point now where we're I had to get a different email now because my personal email is blown out of the water with all this other stuff. So
Yeah.
now I got a Kaylee's kids email to try
Yeah.
to move some of that stuff because I got to go through the emails. So that's Kaylee's kids, or this is
Yeah.
that's mine. Oh, that's a bill. We don't want to look at that one either.
Yeah, just
Don't
scroll
open
it.
that today.
Scroll,
Don't open that
scrolling.
today.
Yeah, there's more of those than I want to look
Oh
at.
my gosh.
Yeah.
But everything, like I said, everything we do is donation driven, and there's been a lot of people so far now. Now you guys are in to support us too, and we really appreciate it. The more that we can get the cause out there and get awareness, there's like 15,000 children a year that get diagnosed with childhood cancer. That's one too many. No parent should have to go through what we went through. Period. Like but we want parents to know that are going through it that they're not alone. There's those of us that have been there and have done it,
Right.
and we're there to help you. Just need to ask. I can't say that enough. You know, like, don't be afraid to ask questions.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know,
well, for
I'm
sure.
not afraid. I'm not afraid to ask you guys questions. You
Yeah.
know, ask Caleb. Hey,
Wait,
what's up? Question. I
good.
got a
Oh
We're
question.
man.
asking all those
I mean,
questions.
we're still waiting to go review my embark, but you know,
Yes, we.
Yeah,
sorry, I had.
no, that's gonna be
Uh,
pure. And if you're wanting help reading Embark, I know Michael also can be very helpful in that regard as well.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
feel like y'all were summoning me then. What you're
No, no,
trying to
I was just busting Caleb's chops a
yeah,
little
that
bit,
was a
you know.
jab. I felt
That
it. I
was
felt
yeah.
it.
Michael might answer that
Oh,
question sooner than Caleb.
Amanda, don't jump in on this. Don't do
He
that,
said, no,
Amanda.
no, no, no.
Amanda.
I feel left out.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had to let the puppy pee real quick.
Hey, it's all right. It's all right.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
man.
no, hey,
Um,
Brandon, what you're talking about
yeah,
the community, I want to touch on this because in Pensacola, Florida, I saw this registry, the BRC,
oh yes,
Kevin Anthony,
yeah, I
you
got
know,
it.
give
I got it.
give this gentleman the mic, and he shared his testimony. Like, what
I
courage,
got to
first of
give.
all. Like,
Yeah.
I got to give a big credit to Kevin Anthony. You know, I went up to Anthony that day and I asked him, literally like 2 minutes before Kevin handed me the mic. You know, I said, if at y'all's convenience, can I
yeah,
get on the microphone and speak a little bit about our cause here? And you know, Anthony knew about our cause, you know, because we talked about it at the Brooksville show down here a little bit. But
Yeah, he suffered
he went,
great loss as
yeah,
well.
he suffered too. So,
So he understands.
um, yes, um, Anthony Pope and Linda and Kev,
Mhm.
they gave me the floor for about what 5 minutes, I think. I was
yeah,
trying real hard to hold my shit together talking that day. Like,
you did awesome.
oh, you know, I was getting a little, my crap voice is cracking. Now I have no problem talking on the microphone. Okay, I was a DJ, so you just give me a microphone and I'm good to go. You know, they throw on some music, I'm ready to rock and roll. I have no problem talking on the mic, but for that
Yeah,
day, I I had a hard time. Uh,
Yeah,
I
like you
had
said earlier, man.
Yeah.
Some days are easier than others.
some days are
Mhm.
easier than others, that's for sure. And that day I was having a hard time, and I'm pretty sure my dog understood that because you seen she gave me a big hug that day. You know,
Yeah.
she,
yeah,
He's like, I
yeah. If you go on the Kaylee's Kids page, you know, like us, follow us, and then have your friends like us and follow us. You know, because the more people that get out there and understand what it is that we're doing and we're trying to accomplish here, the better off it is for the cause. You know, like,
100%.
I mean, I
100%.
have my dog. We do our dog thing too, but like my dogs are very therapeutic for us.
yeah,
Um, I say us as a family as a whole, but
Mhm.
us giving back to the hospital and the community in these ways helps us heal. And I've told that to Caleb. I was like, this is how it helps us heal. We all grieve differently, remember, and some things we heal in different ways, and this is one of our ways that helps us heal. I listen to a lot of music. I went through a lot of Shine Down. I went through uh, a lot of Three Doors Down, and to get through my hardest days. You know, I still have hard days. You know,
Yeah, that is.
I'd make the best of it. Some days I don't
yeah,
want to talk to anybody. I just
Oh yeah.
do my thing, but that's to be expected.
I
yeah. But no,
definitely appreciate
what a
you. Yeah.
testimony. And for everyone that's viewing in, like, so again, what they do, September 11th, they take all these art supplies, all these donations, they put it in a storage unit throughout the year, and they take that in this, the truck that the UPS lets them, take with the fire in it. And he takes his daughter's Ranger, and they go to this hospital and deliver all of this art supplies to the kids that are giving back. And they're trying to actually raise enough money where they're paying bills because they were in that situation where they were the parents that had to look at the bills that were coming in, had to look at their
They
children and not being able to control that.
the bills pile up, especially when you're you're a parent that's there one night and the next parent's there the next night. Like you're taking turns, or like I would pack a bag for 3 or 4 days. I'd go to work and leave work and come right back to the hospital and then do that for 3 or 4 days. And then Amber come and sit at the hospital with Kaylee, and she'd pack a bag for 3 or 4 days. And that's where she was at, but it was a lot of that. And when you're not working, you got no money coming in, and you have only so many PTO days. Yes, you've got other protections, like I forget what the one's called, FMLA.
FMLA or something like
Yeah,
that.
FMLA. But once you're out of PTO, FMLA doesn't pay you anymore. Like that's it.
Yeah. And then once you endure the loss, then you take your time, and then when you're going back, then you got to go back to work.
Yeah.
And that's when I remember when I got back in the dump truck for the first time, and I was just a few hours in, and I called my wife.
Had to get out from behind the windshield. Come get
I
me.
should not be in this truck.
Yeah.
You think you're all right and get to try to drive a dump truck like that. And I was like, yeah, no, I'm going back to the house.
There's nothing worse than windshield time when your head's in the wrong place.
I'm telling you, especially operating that big old thing, it'll get away from you real easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All it took was one time backing up a little too close to something, and I was like, oh, yep.
You're
I'm
pulling
not
a set of doubles.
Yeah, I'm not all here. I'm not okay.
Mm-hmm.
Or you're pulling a set of doubles from Jacksonville at 4:00 in the morning back to Tampa. I mean, like it's not a good deal to
No.
be up in your head when you're not there. It's
Yeah, and it is okay to not be okay, and that's a really really hard thing to wrap your head around, because you're trying so hard to grasp at like a normality after that level of despair. But yeah, you've got to be willing to feel all your feels, and not try to, but also, you know, let some things exist in the ether, control only what you can, and that's a really really hard thing for some folks to allow.
sometimes you gotta let it out. You gotta let it out.
For us, it was being able to afford the time to process properly, because no matter, like, you just can't seem to, like, life gets in the way, and then it becomes a bigger deal than what it could be. Of course, it's going to be a big deal, but it's like you can't process the same way, having to get back on the hamster wheel. It's tough.
I think I was out for almost 4 weeks, 5 weeks maybe, but we had somebody created a GoFundMe, and then we had a bunch of donations that just came in to help us get through the grief. It gave us some time to stay home.
Yeah, gave you a buffer.
Yeah, a little bit of a buffer. So I can truly attest to that. It's a big key of getting through it. It's something I wish upon nobody. Mike can attest to it. 1 minute your life is normal, and then it's not. It's not. It's now you're trying to figure out the new normal. And I tell everybody all the time, like, my feet hit the ground differently now than they used to. That's just the way it is. And
some people understand that. Some people, they don't. They don't know what you mean by it, but there's no way around it.
You're either a good person. At the end of the day, in my book, this is how it goes. In my book, you're either a good person or you're not. All right? And you have to sleep with the decisions that you make at the end of the day. So if you're not a good person and your soul's not in the right place, I learned that, I just walk away from you and not look back. I don't have time. I don't have time to deal with people's bullshit. Okay, when it comes to my peace, my peace is more important than anything else. Me and my household piece. So
That's
if I
something
have to turn,
we really noticed that. Like things that would upset you before, it's kind of like, hey, I don't have time for that, man.
yeah, yeah, I have
We
time
got
for it.
we got real stuff going
Right.
on over here. We ain't got
Yeah,
time for this petty ass shit.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
funny how that works, ain't it?
Yeah. Oh
I turn
yeah.
around
Right.
and walk away in a heartbeat. Like I wash my hand when I wash my hands of a situation. I'm done. I'm out. Like that's it.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But you got to wipe,
Yeah.
you got to just wash your hands of things that like are going to just really, really not allow you to move on in the way that you need to. But you prioritize your peace after things like this. And you have to, time is precious, and spending time, being frustrated by other people and other things that, don't even really pertain to you or need to pertain to you is just, it's waste. It's a waste.
It is a waste, and I've had to walk away from many things. So
Yeah.
and family members, just because my peace and my household's peace are more important
Paramount.
than
Absolutely.
Paramount.
bullshit.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed.
So
Me.
what's your next thing with the dogs? You're gonna let these puppies grow a little bit, see
All
what's
right.
going on
So
there, and you got
our dogs, my puppies, I do picks at 10 weeks. These puppies here, um, I'm pretty much every one of them is going to be up for grabs except 2 females right now. So I bred for my program. That's what I did. Okay. And I'm breeding for my program first, and everything else comes second. Um, Females are where it's at. So I'm breeding for females right now. I don't need any males. If I need a male, I can place one somewhere,
Right.
or relatively close. If I got to put one in a guardianship, I can, but I really don't need to. I'm building a program. I've got things in the works. I won't divulge it all, but there's people within relative closeness here that we got plans. So uh, with the 2 females I have, that includes Nebula. Even though we may not end up breeding Nebula again, I'll have daughters from her. You know, but I still have Cheyenne. Cheyenne was a fantastic mother. She's
Yeah.
she was. I was going to take her to Jacksonville, but because I've got puppies on the ground, I will not be taking any dogs to Jacksonville.
I don't blame
I,
you.
I will be at Jax myself because I have a booth there, and I think presence at the show is warranted. Just because of when you're trying to build something, you can't build something if you're not where the people are.
Yep.
Absolutely.
So we need to be where the people are and go network and talk to people and make sure that we're out there. But I'm not be taking any dogs. The risk is too high. The reward is not worth it. I got puppies that are going to be 4 weeks old at that time, and no dogs will be going. As much as I would love to have her go, Maverick was supposed to junior handle with her there. And he's probably still going to go, but I don't have a dog for him right now to show up there. So he'll probably go.
So someone that's going, hey, Maverick needs a dog to show for junior handlers.
Oh, hey,
Yes.
yeah, absolutely. Anybody out there?
Edwin, talking to Edwin.
Yeah.
Oh,
Maverick wants to show Zion so bad.
there we go. Again, Edwin.
You
Can you hear
listening?
me?
Come on, yeah, let's go.
Oh, that's
Oh,
funny.
dang. Yeah, no, for sure.
I wanted to do a Grand Champ Cheyenne before I bred her again. We're not taking her to this show, when they're splitting the class. That's really, I really thought we had a chance. Yeah, it's tough, but I have to do what I have to do. I have to do what's in the best interest of my kennel right now, and that's to keep her home and derobe before I walk in the house. Get back.
Yeah. No, there was so my friend Vicky, she actually gave me a tidbit liquid colloidal silver. You can get it online, uh, whatever. Put it in a spray bottle, and then literally, like for your shoes, especially, to spray the bottoms of your shoes, the tops of your shoes, just anything that was exposed, to anywhere where dogs had been laying down or had been panting and or drinking. And then spray them down and then leave them outside, uh, preferably in the sun because the sun is a good deodorizer. So, but yeah, colloidal silver, and it's just one of those things. It's a antimicrobial. So it's something to.
Yeah, I was looked at by my wife like, you are not taking the dogs to the show.
She gave you the look. The look.
Yeah, the look. Yeah, and I'm like, I have to agree with her. And like we were on the phone with Bonnie today, and we were all discussing because Bonnie handles Cheyenne. Okay, so as a group, we came together and was like, yeah, we're going to keep her home. I mean, see, look, see, she loves her Bonnie.
Yeah, Bonnie and Cheyenne.
She loves her Bonnie.
That is so cute.
This is the love tax we're talking about.
Yeah, it's a love tax. That's I believe that's in Columbus where she champed out right after she champed out, in show 3.
She was. I was there for it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And she champed out in that ring. And then she went into show 4 and she got reserved in show 4 in the champion class up against Maddie, Alex's dog. Maddie with the fatty. Yep. Mm-hmm. She's a bad looking bitch too. I have to say that Maddie's a bad looking bitch too. Devin trained Cheyenne. So
because I remember seeing pictures earlier on with Devin and Cheyenne. So it's she's definitely had some amazing people working with her, and you can absolutely tell. That she's been worked with the way that she has with whom she has. It's very apparent.
She's a very loving dog. That one right there,
as you can see.
Yeah, she's a daddy's girl, 125%.
Someone who looks at you like she looks at you and Bonnie.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. She's the champion in the house. Okay, she is the princess in the house. And, she's not Queen Bee when Nebby's here, but she is the champion in the house. She gets a little more leeway than anybody else, just because she is the one dog that you can leave out and doesn't get into too much trouble when you're not looking.
Too much.
Nebby, you can't do that. Nebby, she goes and finds everything to get in trouble with.
Yeah.
And so do the boys. So the boys like to get in trouble and do all kinds of stuff.
They'll do that. Absolutely do that. Man.
I do have one male left over from the Cheyenne Zion breeding.
Oh.
He's a blue boy. He's tall. He's got a little bit of a snipier muzzle, but he is very well put together. I kept him for a reason because I wanted to see how he turned out. Okay. Yeah. I have another one. He's up getting trained. Caleb.
Yeah, you got a couple of them getting trained.
Yeah, that one's up there getting trained. But this one I have Bluey. He's down here. He needs to probably go to a decent show home.
Nice.
He's very loving,
very nice.
Willing to please. All he wants to do is love on him and stuff. But he's a very nice boy. He's Bluey. I'm gonna get George to take some pictures of him. I need a good side stack on him.
Yeah, hell of a pedigree too. Because Champion Cheyenne is litter mates to Grand Champion Skywalker. They bred Cheyenne to dual Grand Champion Zion, who is line bred Samson. I don't believe he's not a Samson son, is he? He's
Samson.
Like an inbred
grandson,
like an inbred daughter bred to a Samson son, I believe, produced Zion. They took Zion to Cheyenne, who is a Samson daughter.
Mhm.
Yes. So very, very nice prospect that he's talking about. I just want to put,
Yeah.
magnify that a little
He
bit.
would compliment, even if he's not going to be in a ring, because like I said, he's tall. He'd make
Yeah.
he'd be a good standard. He's nah, he might make classic because his head's a little small, but he's Samson. His head's going to get bigger. Okay,
Oh yeah.
Exactly.
he's 6 months
With
old right now.
age
So
comes development completely
Yes.
with
yeah,
that blood.
Got to trust the process. You got to trust the time.
but once again, I'm just not going to let my dog go to any old home. Okay,
Yeah.
like me and Caleb had a conversation earlier in the week, where I sent him a scenario that I didn't particularly like, and I had to let the guy know I couldn't send my dog
Yeah.
over there. My dogs just aren't going to go anywhere. They're going to go to places where I know they're going to get taken care of. Okay, we can't make sure that all the time, but I damn
Yeah.
sure can make sure that I did my due diligence to place a dog in the proper home. Like I've said before,
Yeah.
I'm not in this to just line my pocket. That's not what I'm doing this for. I'm here to produce
Right.
dogs, better dogs. Okay, and better dogs by working with people like you, Amanda, and Caleb, and Mike, and Bonnie, and Edwin, and we all have this the thing where we work together to produce better dogs, and we learn from each other. And like I said, my dogs aren't going just to anybody.
Good. Yeah. No, I wish more people would be like that. That's, there's definitely something to be said about someone who that's one of their priorities when they're starting to home these dogs. So some are just like, nope, just give me the money and here's your dog and have fun. And
Yeah, I know all my dog. I know we had a conversation earlier on your last live with Mark and with Tamara about chipping the dog.
Mhm.
People are weary about chipping dogs. I'm going to chip every dog that leaves my yard before it leaves my yard, because that's going to be one way I know that I'll be able to get the dog back if the dog goes somewhere and ends up in a shelter. I would like my
Right.
dog back.
Yeah,
Like,
my pops chips all his dogs, and a quick little story before we get off here. We were in a real we were team driving over the road, right,
mhm.
and had a real bad accident, and we were actually transporting a dog from his kennel on the chips. We were doing both on the trip. We're hauling freight out there, and then we were bringing a dog out there as well. And we were out in the depths of Moapa, about 45 minutes outside of Las Vegas, and out there in the desert, and had a bad accident. And it actually threw the dog through the kennel it was in out into the desert. And, my leg was shattered. And
Oh my
like
God.
the ambulance got there, and I was like, I'm fine. I'm fine. We're missing a dog, And they're like, what? And they're like looking at me crazy. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm all right. I want you to go find the dog, And they were
Yeah.
like, sir, we got to get
Don't
you to
worry
the
about my
hospital.
leg. Go
Yeah.
find my dog.
Right.
Don't worry
And
about.
so they didn't find the dog, but the chip triangulated him the next day, and the troopers in that area found him wandering around in the desert based on where his chip was at, and his back was injured from the wreck. And if it wasn't for the chip, he's fine. He's still here today, and if it wasn't for the chip, he wouldn't have made it. So I can say where they do make a difference.
They do.
Dang, man, that's a crazy story. That's the first time you've ever told me.
Yeah, that was really something, man. I couldn't believe they found that dog. Of course, they called and told us, and Pops, he told me, he's like, well, guess what? Little bit of good news at the end of this, they found the dog. And I'm like, oh, man.
Heck yeah.
And now he's had breeding since then and been back on the farm and everything else. So that's pretty cool.
That's wild,
Mm.
man. That's absolutely wild.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Brandon, I'm so happy that you came on here tonight, and it takes a lot of courage to talk about things that are painful, exceedingly painful, and being willing to share the hope that is also on the other side of it.
I'm grateful that you guys gave me an opportunity to talk about it. You know, like,
Yeah.
like I said, I learned a lot from watching you guys and watching Raul, and when people like you guys do what you do, and your motto is reach one, teach one. Well, you've reached one, and you're teaching one. So
Heck yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
that's
I like
I
that.
uh,
love it.
uh,
I thank you, man. That's yeah. It's it's been a pleasure, and anybody that has any questions about Kaylee's kids, definitely don't hesitate to look up the website using the links that we've put in the comment section, visiting them on Facebook, reaching out to Brandon, just any way you can. If it's something that moves you, definitely go try to be a part of it, and contribute what you can, because it's an amazing cause, truly.
listen, you see us at a dog show, and you got
Mhm.
art supplies, whether it's crowns or pencils or canvases or something. Walk over to KK's Bully Camp booth and just say, "Here, I got some art supplies for you guys."
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
you need a receipt for it, we carry those with us too. You just tell me how much you spent
Nice.
on it, and then I'll write you a receipt right there, and you turn it in for your taxes if you want to do that. You know, I have,
Brandon,
yeah.
make sure if you will, man, send me a friend request. I looked for you, and it sent me to some deal. I didn't see a place to send you one for whatever reason. So send me one to Michael Higginson.
Okay. Are you
Higggason.
on the computer? That's probably why, because every time I'm on this damn
Facebook,
thing, it doesn't let me
Facebook. Oh
find
no,
anything.
hell,
Like,
I'm not good at either one
you
of
should
them.
have
But
seen me trying
I
to
looked
find
your name
Amanda
up, and it.
earlier today. Like, it's like, I was on the Kaylee's kids page, and I'm trying to add Amanda on, tag her
Well,
on the
that's
thing, and it
another
wouldn't let
thing
me
you and
do
I both have in
nothing.
common. I'm a lot of things, but tech savvy's not one of them. So
No,
No, when I
absolutely.
tell you I need somebody to run a website, like I need somebody who knows how to run a website. Because you should have seen me put together that website last year. Like, yeah, there's
It,
pictures
it
on there.
looks good. It's not. It's perfectly not complicated. Like it's just very straightforward. I like it. You
Uh,
did
but,
good.
yeah, I need to figure out how to put my own pay stuff in there instead of GoDaddy's pay stuff, because if people like donate through GoDaddy, even though we're a charity, they whack it right.
They want their
Like,
cut. Oh, that sucks.
oh,
Oh, yeah. They
yeah,
gotta do that.
yeah, they
Yeah.
take their piece. Don't you worry, they take theirs.
Mm-hmm. Again, they want their cut. Yeah,
They
Daddy, you
take
suck.
theirs. They're worse than Uncle Sam, I think. Man,
well, it was nice to get to know you tonight, Brandon, and I
Yeah, it
hope
yeah, I
I can
was.
appreciate the
catch
opportunity,
you at a
guys.
show. The best of luck to you and your family and your mission and this honorable thing that you're doing in the name of your daughter. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. It was great to hear your story. You got some beautiful dogs too. Good luck with the puppies. It was nice getting to know you tonight, man.
I appreciate the opportunity, Mike.
Yeah,
Money, Mike,
that's right. That's right.
money, Mike.
It's cool,
Money,
man,
Mike.
when people that I haven't met yet get, have been on this and been on that and kind of gotten a feel for what we do and what it means to us to, try to educate and try to, on this, what one of the things we do here that's so important to me is spread the love, man. Shine light on people and what they're doing, people like yourself, and show that, because you get into this thing with the bullies and the showing and the whole deal, and if you're not careful, you can fall into the wrong crowd and you think it's this
Yes.
salty backbiting bunch of crap, and it's not that at all. Not
No.
on our side of the fence anyway. And so
It's
we
so
try.
easy to get led in the wrong direction.
It
You
is,
know,
man, and then it's a rabbit hole, right? So, one of the things that kind of happens behind the scenes, one of the driving forces for us here, is to stay positive, man, to uplift people and be that rock for each other. So
it's important to be able to lean on each other and
it
learn from
is,
each other. You
Immensely.
know,
it is, man.
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
Amanda may have
Awesome.
had a different experience than Mike had, and Mike had a similar experience to Caleb, but it was a different one.
100%.
So they're going to learn from that experience that Amanda had done. Like so. You can learn from each other and teach from that position too. So I'm just glad that I had the opportunity to jump on here and have the opportunity to learn from previous lives. Like I drive just like you do. Like I drive during the day, so there's sometimes I'll put the live on from the previous night, and I'm not watching it. I've got it on this headset, and I'm listening to
I
it
do it
with
every
my
day,
phone
brother.
with my phone in my pocket, like I'm listening.
Between the different lives and the different podcasts I listen to, some days I'm talking on the phone all day, other days I'm all education, man, just diving into stuff. So it's kind of a if anybody hasn't done it, there's a lot of freedom in driving like that. You get to kind of deep dive into stuff you're interested in, and do audio books and just any old thing. So
I do that too. Audio books. I'm an audio booker too.
I am too.
Yeah.
Awesome, dude. Well, y'all, it has been a pleasure.
Yes,
Amanda,
thank you.
Caleb.
Yes.
Caleb, thank you. Mike, thank you for having us on.
Absolutely. Awesome live, man. Appreciate you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you guys.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right.
You guys have a blessed night.
Good
Everybody
night,
have
y'all.
a good evening.
Y'all have a good
Yeah,
one.
you too, man.
Okay.